Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ariel Helwani Show!
The Ariel Helwani Show is back in your life on this Wednesday, December 18th, 2024. Hello again, everyone. And I sure hope you're doing well in this holiday season. Hopefully the spirits are high. Hopefully the vibes are high. Hopefully you're doing well. You're happy and healthy. Perhaps getting ready to go on a trip. Perhaps getting ready to be surrounded by family and friends. And of course, if you are not, and I know the holidays may be a tough time, you have family here. We are here, a ton of content all week long. We've had 3 great shows already. We've got today's program, which is an absolute stacked banger, if you will. You know we like to shoot on Wednesdays. That's coming as well. Boys in the Back on Thursday. The Crack live on Friday. Watch party for Usyk-Fury 2 on Saturday. A post show. And plenty more to come during the holiday break. So glad that you're all here. So grateful for the support. Thumbs up to the chat. Thumbs up to the chat. Thanks to everyone who has been subscribing, liking, commenting, all that and more. We appreciate y'all very, very much. Now, back into the program. Of course, we'll answer your questions on the nose. You know how we like to do. On this Wednesday, we always like to answer the hard-hitting questions, and I've seen already some great ones there. So thank you very much to everyone who has sent them in. ArielHelwani.substack.com is the place to be for all the questions. Now, prior to that, we're going to be joined by Kaikar France. We've been talking about him a lot, and I didn't have an opportunity to speak to him after his win over Steve Usyk. That was during the hiatus, so this will be our first time in the new era. Of course, he's a top-ranked flyweight contender. Pantoja mentioned last week he's interested in fighting him. Obviously, Manel Cap mentioning him as well. He's right there and seems to be in prime position to get the next title shot at 125 pounds. Let us see if the pride of New Zealand, the city kickboxing product, Kaikar France, will get that opportunity sometime in 2025. Now, prior to that, we'll be joined in studio by Mr. Big News himself, Paul Hughes. He'll be right here to talk about the massive showdown, which is being billed as Ireland versus Dagestan Part 2, or maybe it should be Dagestan versus Ireland Part 2, considering the champion is from Dagestan. It's, of course, Usman Nurmagomedov against Paul Hughes for the Bellator lightweight title. That's January 25th in Dubai, this Dubai Champion Series event that they're doing that has been hit with a lot of replacements and all this stuff. But I will say, very, very good main event, tremendous main event, which I can't wait for. Paul Hughes will join us in studio to talk about it all at around 2 o'clock. Tyron Woodley is going to join us at 1:30 to talk about this GFL thing, his involvement, what's going on, what's happening. Some fighters have told me, hey, wait, I haven't actually signed, so let's see what T. Wood has to say about it all. Now, first off, yesterday on the program, we were joined by Adam Smith, the legendary boxing play-by-play man who will be calling the action for DAZN this weekend in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Usyk-Fury 2, what a card it was. And then afterwards, we had the show with Ariel Helwani. It's on right now. The DAZN boxing channel was a great chat about all things Usyk-Fury and a couple of the, undercard fights. And so speaking of those undercard fights, to kick off today's program, we're going to go back to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, because there is one gentleman in particular on this card that I'm very excited to speak to for the first time, and I'm very excited that he's getting this opportunity on this massive, massive card. I'm a big fan of his. I'm a big fan of his family's as well. I'm a big fan of everything he represents and how he conducts himself, but he's just a great time, and he seems like a great lad. And so let us go all the way to the kingdom right now and say hello for the first time to Johnny Fisher, the Rumford Bull. Is he there? Yeah, there he is in the car.
Hello.
How are you, Johnny?
How are you? I'm good, thank you, mate. We're just on our way to the media workout now, so I've got my team with me in the car. They're all here.
I love it.
Yeah, we're excited.
All business, right?
All business, mate. All business. Ready to rock and roll. Do our job. That's what we're here for. We love everything around boxing, but our job is to be a boxer first and foremost and get the job done, which is what we're going to do.
I like it. You're getting ready to get rowdy in Saudi. I hear that's what they're calling it. And like I said, I've been wanting to talk to you. I'm a big fan of yours and your father's and everything that you guys do and represent for quite some time.
Thank you.
And your rise has been a lot of fun to watch as well. When you got the call that you'd be on this particular card, because let's be honest, the Copper Bosch is great. A nice little, opportunity in Vegas is great, but this is different. This is a different platform and different stakes. What was the reaction when you got the call?
Well, fighting on these Riyadh cards on the Usyk-Fury undercard, that's the pinnacle of boxing and heavyweight boxing, and it's an opportunity we couldn't turn down. And I'm thankful to my team for getting that sorted. But like any fight, whether it be in the Copper Box, it be in Vegas, or it be in Saudi Arabia, the job remains the same, and we've got to stay professional and get it done. It's on a massive stage, but I'm built for moments like this.
And could I ask, I hear your fans like to travel. How many people from your area, from Rumford, from Essex, from that whole part of England are coming over to Saudi Arabia to support you?
Well, we've got a good 150 people coming over, which is fantastic considering the time of the year when most people will be getting prepared for Christmas. It wasn't cheap as well. A lot of people have invested a lot of money into coming out, and they've also going to have big fan bases back in England, back in Romford, back in London. People are going to be watching at different fan zones. So I've got support, not only people coming out, but great support at home as well and around the world.
Are these fans aware that you can't drink in Saudi Arabia?
Yes, listen, that was another aspect to it, which probably put a few people off. But I know my fans love a drink, they love a party, but the most important thing is they love supporting me. So it's so good to have so many people coming out to watch. A lot of them are close friends and family, but people that I've never met as well. So I've got a good mix, and similar to when we was in Vegas, you make new friends as you go, these people that support you,
The story of this fight is a fascinating one because, as you've mentioned before, you sparred Dave Allen in one of your very first sparring sessions. You were just a rugby player. You get the call, hey, you want to spar this guy? Yeah, no problem. But you were very green as a boxer. In fact, probably didn't even have any aspirations to become a professional boxer. How would you now, and here's a photo of you guys from way back in the day, how would you now describe your relationship with Dave? Because I do notice in some of the interviews, he tries to maybe say that like you're not quite ready for an opportunity like this. You're not quite ready for someone like him. How would you describe the state of your relationship with Dave?
Well, listen, we have a friendship, but that's to the wayside now. At the minute, he's not a friend, he's an enemy. So that all gets put to one side. I can still be cordial, I can still be gentlemanly and conduct myself in the correct way, but we're fighting each other on Saturday. So that's all that's entering my head right now. And him saying, if he's saying I'm not ready, that's up to him. Let him believe that, because it's been 4 or 5 years since that spar, maybe even more. And the progression and the maturing of myself has been different. And there was nothing wrong in that spar either. I proved to myself in that spar I've got the minerals to be what it takes to be a professional boxer. So I'm very, very happy with where I am now. And it's about executing the game plan on the night.
Would you have ever believed that opportunities like this would be coming your way? Like if we would have talked after that sparring session, like, hey, you're going to be this big time prospect. You're going to be fighting on cards with the likes of Tyson, Fury, and Oleksandr Usyk. Like any of this part of your plans back then?
To be honest, when I was speaking to my trainer, Mark Tibbs, and Sonny Cannon, my strength and conditioning trainer, we were speaking about this in the last few spars before coming out here. And we said, look where we are now. It's amazing. But I think the reason that I've got to this point, considering back then I wasn't even looking to be a professional boxer, as you said, but I sparred Dave Allen, is I don't look too far ahead and I don't look too far back. I execute the next thing that's in front of me, and that's what I've got to do now on Saturday night.
We were taking the piss a little bit, as they say over in England, yesterday when we were looking at your grand arrival. I don't know if you saw this, because we were wondering if you were nervous about tripping down the stairs. You were very deliberate.
Oh, of course I was.
Okay. Here you are.
I don't want to stack it. Yeah.
What's going through your mind as you're going down these enormous stairs?
Very slowly, and I thought, right, I've got the most of it done now. So as I get to the final 3/4 of it, I thought I'd get a little jog on, because if I fall from there, I can still recover it. But if I fall from the top, I'm doing a whole slide down. So job done.
Were you nervous?
Not really, not nervous, but I was, as you said, I was just deliberate in my foot placement, because that wouldn't have been a good look, but I would have definitely styled it out in some way. I probably would have done a forward army roll of some sort and recovered myself.
What about you meeting Big Turkey, and he references your dad's Chinese? Were you blown away by this?
Of course I was. Like, listen, obviously I'm on this card, a massive card, and then it seems I can't escape Big John wherever he goes. It's where is your father? Where is he? I want to see him, which is great. He's a personality of his own, and he's coming out on Friday, so I'm sure Turkey can enjoy a delicious Chinese meal with him then.
Are there Chinese restaurants in Saudi Arabia? Are you aware?
I think so. Rashid is a Chinese restaurant.
Hello.
Rashid, who's part of our team, he's showing us around this week. He said there's plenty of Chinese restaurants, so I'm sure Big John, out of anyone, he'll be able to sniff it out.
So you'll be sorted for the celebratory meal, perhaps.
Yeah, hopefully. But listen, I haven't had a chicken ball since January. I've not ate no rubbish at all. I've turned a big corner in my career in the way I conduct myself in the last 9 to 12 months, and I leave all the Chinese eating to Big John these days. So I'm happy with getting the victory. That's the important part for me.
Is it hard sometimes because he's become such a personality, and probably people want to do videos with you guys and all this stuff? Is it hard to kind of separate yourself from that so that you don't, eat this stuff or get too caught up in it?
Yeah. Well, sometimes it is very hard because whenever we have business meetings, not just media, people want to meet at the Chinese to discuss business. So it gets very hard to separate it. But the only good thing is our local restaurant, the Blue Orchid, I spoke to you about it before. They do fresh, beautiful food, and they do steamed fish for me in there and steamed vegetables and boiled rice. So it's just as healthy as if I was cooking a meal for myself at home. I stay away from the takeaway items, and I stick to the good hearty stuff,
Yes, of course. You're looking tremendous, by the way. You're looking very fit.
Yeah, I definitely am. I've got a new nutritionist on board. I've had him on for the last 6 months or so. That's obviously played a part, but it's through consistent training and consistent eating and being consistent in everything you do, whether that's food, whether that's training or going to sleep. And I've got a great team around me, and all them little 1% add up. And when you're a professional fighter, you can't leave any stone unturned, and I never do that. I always make sure I'm in tip-top condition.
Can I ask, are you blown away by the scene over there? Like yesterday, the grand arrival, the pomp and circumstance, everything they're doing. This is a little different, right?
It's on a whole nother level to what I've experienced before, the production value of everything. And yeah, it's amazing, but I don't think about it too much because there's a job at hand. And once that job's at hand is done and complete, then I can look back and enjoy the memories of it. But right now, I'm just completely focused on my task.
Do you have to get out of the car now?
Yeah, we're just waiting to get out of the car, but it's not a problem. We're with you on your show, mate. So you call the shots when you say we'll move.
Okay, I'll only keep you for a couple more minutes. I don't want to hold you up there because I know this is a big deal for you. But a lot of people are kind of connecting you and Moses on this card because you're the two big heavyweight prospects. You're a tremendous professional, and I love the way you conduct yourself, and you always seem to say the right thing. But is there a little bit of a competition there? Like, let me look better than him, so at the end of the night they say, I'm the heavyweight prospect to look out for, and perhaps not so much him.
Well, listen, I'm in competition with everyone in that division, but I'm open for business to fight anyone in the division. I'm a heavyweight prospect, but I'm also getting up there now, and I'm showing improvements, and I've got to do what I've got to do on my journey. But when our paths cross, or whenever they cross, I'm ready for anything, mate. I'm a professional fighter. I'm a prize fighter, and I'll get in the ring with anyone they want me to.
Sure. And obviously at the top of the bill, you have Fury and Usyk. You've sparred both of them, yeah?
Yep, sparred both. No, only Fury. I haven't sparred Usyk.
Okay.
I'd love to, but I sparred Fury before the Deontay Wilder 3 fight.
Who do you fancy in that one?
I do really fancy Tyson Fury this time. I saw a steeliness in his look when he got off that plane at the airport in Saudi Arabia. I see a different man to I saw in the first fight, and it did remind me of how he looked when he beat Deontay Wilder the second time. That focus in his eyes, and he's going to need it because to beat someone, a technician like Usyk, it's going to take every bit of strength he's got to do that.
Let's end on this one because I loved your line from the press conference. You said you're not Man City, you're not AC Milan. You're a cold night away in Stoke. And by the way, I know all about that. I'm a big footy fan myself, Nottingham Forest. I don't know if you heard, fourth place in the Premier League. Bosh, fourth place. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. For those that may not know what that means, the visual of a cold night away in Stoke, why is that the best description of who you are?
Cold night away in Stoke isn't one of the most pleasant experiences. You'll be seeing the air, the breath in front of you coming up. You're going to have to put your biggest shin pads on. You're going to have to put your metal studs on. And to get a win or a result at Stoke takes a lot of grit and determination. So what I'm saying is, to beat me, you're going to have to be on your top A game. I'm going to give you a hard fight no matter what. That's what a cold night away in Stoke means.
I love it. And I can't wait for it. And I'm delighted that you're getting this opportunity. You're on quite the run. I'm happy you're all healed up. The bicep is doing good, right?
Yeah. Biceps great. We had a little bit of kerfuffle with that in September time, but I've got a great team around me, and we've done the rehab properly, and it's felt at a perfect time.
And by the way, in case you were confused by my intro, we're on a new show now, so that's why I said it's like first time on this show. You were thinking like this guy.
No problem. No problem at all, Ariel. It's always great to speak to you, my friend. You're a gentleman.
Yeah, as are you. All the best. Good luck. Love that you're getting this opportunity. Go out there, smash it, and big things coming your way in 2025. Good luck to you and the team, and thanks for squeezing us in. I know it's very stressful out there, so thank you.
Great to see you, my friend. I'll see you soon.
Cheers. All the best. There he is, the great Johnny Fisher, the big man, getting a massive opportunity on Saturday against Dave Allen, and there's a great backstory there. They sparred together back in the day. Dave Allen has been around for a lot longer than him, and he was just a guy who they said, "Hey, you want to come spar this pro?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." He played rugby in uni, as they say, and so he went out there, did his thing, started climbing the ranks, has become a massive draw, sells out venues like the Copper Box, or as they say, the Copper Bosch Arena. And now he's getting this opportunity. And as we talked about yesterday, it's Usyk-Fury at the top of the bill, but there's a heavyweight theme a little lower down. There's the Sergey Boachic fight against Ishmael Davis in the chief support, if you will. But then you have Moses Itama, who is a 19 years young super prospect that everyone thinks could be the next big thing coming out of the UK. I mean, the guy's 19. He doesn't look 19. It's insane that he's that good and looks the way he does. And then you have Johnny Fisher, who's a little bit older, 25, 12-0, 11 knockouts, and he's looking fantastic. He's climbing the ranks, and he really does appear to be in tremendous shape. I'm very excited about him getting this opportunity. So good on him, and appreciate him taking some time, because it is very stressful. You're about to do an open workout. You got your mind on a bunch of different things. So appreciate him and the team for making that happen.
It's tough.
A great, it's, you know what? This is what you do, Frank. This is what you do when you're, when you're a professional. Now, I want to give you a taste, just a quick taste. I love this clip of Johnny Fisher, of who he is. Like, you see him, he's well-spoken, he's down to earth, he says the right things. He's a great representative, I think, of the UK and of the UK boxing scene. Someone that I think those fans can really get behind if he continues to climb the ladder. Take a look at this clip from just a few weeks ago, I do believe, of him interacting with a young man, and give you a nice taste of who Johnny Fisher is.
With the addition of the extra cost in travel right before Christmas, that's good, isn't it?
It's amazing how many people are coming.
So, yeah,
Come on, be in interview. Yeah. What's your name? Why did you swear?
I couldn't know. And they're saying, I'm
Do you think that's a good way to act?
What this? Do this for me.
No, listen to me. Listen. I'm trying to help you here. Do you think that's a good way to act and conduct yourself? That's not a way to act. Do you want a t-shirt? Do you want one of these? When you come over here and act like that, it doesn't give off a good image, right? I think you're a decent kid, and I want to help people in the community. But if you act like that, it doesn't give off a good first impression. Act better than that, because we're in a local area. There's people around here. Swearing and coming over is not a good way to act. Just carry yourself a little bit better than that, because it's not a good way to act.
What size is this? Is
medium. What are you? Large? Have you got small or medium? You reckon you're medium, yeah? And there's a good local boxing club there, Lion Boxing Club. If you want to get involved, go and see them.
Box out for you.
Did you? What'd you do?
I did amateur.
Listen, my advice is get involved in the boxing club again, and bring your mates along as well. It'd be good, yeah? Good man.
Guys, see that, yeah?
Come on. That is great stuff. I love how he's like, come on, you got to act better. And the kid's like, what size you got?
De-escalation.
Yes. No, he did a great job. And he's a great character. He posted something recently 4 years ago. He's out there selling meat and cheese with his old man, the great Big John, who we have to get on the show as well one day. And there he is with, I believe that's Joe Joyce, who I think he sparred with back in the day. 4 years ago, I was selling meat with my dad for 50 quid a day. We'd get back at midnight. I would train in my parents' garden, then finish writing my history degree after that. Now I find myself getting the opportunity to fight on the biggest stage in boxing. Happy days, the Rumford Bull. How do you not love? I mean, I'm reading that and I'm getting chills. How do you not love stories like that? That's what it's all about. And he's a very easy guy to root for. And so I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the whole card. As of right now, I'm assuming Usyk is the favorite. What was that? What's that boxing odds site again?
You almost got it. ProBoxingOdds.com.
Oh, it is Pro Boxing Odds, huh?
Yeah.
Is Usyk not the favorite?
He is, slightly. Minus
125
on a couple books.
Oh, I see it. I see it. BetMGM minus 125.
Yeah.
Man, actually, that's closer than I thought.
Yeah, you got to wonder, is there going to be a trilogy?
Because Big Turkey was saying.
Yeah, I mean, if it goes 12 rounds, I feel like Usyk is going to have to put a stamp on it.
Johnny Fisher minus 1,200.
Yeah.
Tough one.
Same with Moses, massive favorite.
Minus 1,200, yeah. And both opponents, Allen and Dempsey McKeon, plus 700. Let's see who's the biggest dog. Ooh, Edgar Ramirez, plus 900. But, I mean, those guys are plus 700, so pretty darn close. Maybe there's something with a Johnny Fisher via knockout. He likes to get them knockouts.
Yeah, he's like minus 350 or something.
Is that it? Minus
Yeah,
350 knockout?
Yeah.
I wonder what's Moses. Let's see. Unless you know.
Johnny, minus 400 by knockout. Moses by knockout is minus 310.
Any action on this card?
Yeah, I'll definitely have a bet come Saturday. I'll have a few. Maybe a little Moses by KO, Johnny Fisher by KO parlay.
Ooh, I like that.
Don't mind that.
Boys in the back?
Prospects. Yeah, we'll discuss it tomorrow.
Have we sorted out the issues with Juliana?
What's the issue?
Well, didn't last week, or was it 2 weeks?
Oh, we just didn't get the pick in time, but it actually worked out perfectly. Pizzi picked Cyril. She also ended up picking Cyril, so it was a combo pick for them.
Oh, really? But when did she get it in?
Friday. But then last week she redeemed herself, got it in on like Tuesday.
Did she explain why she was so late?
No, things happen. Things happen. When you're the champ, you're busy.
tough.
A lot of media obligations, things like that.
Look, when she's the champ,
Shining the
we
belt.
tend to not ask too many questions. It's not really any of our business.
No.
Exactly.
No, you're 100%
Champ does
right.
what the champ wants.
Of course. All right, well, I'm glad that you guys are back in each other's good graces. Yesterday on the program, we talked a little bit about the Conor McGregor-Logan Paul situation of it all. And the only thing that I can add to it is, again, maintain, as I said yesterday, there's validity to the fact that phone calls were made, what Jake tweeted, based on my understanding, accurate, saying, hey, phone calls were made, but we're not interested if the UFC is not involved. Phone calls made between one team and Logan Paul's team, Team McGregor, Team Logan Paul, feels like a long shot. And digging a little bit, I don't think that this is what Dana White was referring to. That's my verdict. Again, we'll never truly know unless he comes out and says it. But I don't think this is what he's referring to. And when I say this is what he's referring to or was referring to, I'm talking about at the press conference on Saturday saying I've got something crazy up my sleeve, something to that effect. I'm paraphrasing. I don't think this was it. And so let's see. I mean, historically, the UFC doesn't love doing these things. We connected the dots yesterday of WWE and UFC and TKO. And, could this delay that second to last fight on his contract from kicking in and all that stuff? But I don't know. And let's be 100% honest. It's one of those things where is it the social media vacuum or is it a legit sentiment? It doesn't seem to have been met with great enthusiasm. Now, does that, is that the temperature of everyone, or is it sort of like Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, where people on the internet said, I hated this, and yet it got the biggest numbers of all time? I don't know. And again, if you're asking me, and Conor McGregor is fighting in 2025 or 2026, he is at his best when he fights in mixed martial arts. That's where we want to see him. And it feels like if you're going to go down this path, as Pete said yesterday, this could signal the end. I think any MMA fan would vote for a continuation of the MMA career because that is what he's best at. So let us see. Let us see how it all transpires, but nothing really all that new other than to say, based on chats, conversations, it feels like, yeah, okay, this is something that was talked about, but is it like close to a done deal or going to be a done deal or going to be announced at this precise moment? That does not seem to be the case. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, Frank.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Anyway, perhaps there'll be a question or two on this topic later in the program. I did get a call on Monday. We're going to be talking to Tyron Woodley in a matter of moments here about the Global Fight League that we, I guess, I don't know if we revealed it, but we had Darren Owen, the founder of this upstart promotion, on the show last Wednesday, and he announced all these names and all these fighters and all these plans and the draft and the season and the scoring system and the schedule and all this stuff and more. And I did actually get a call, believe it or not, on Monday evening. All of a sudden, it's like 9:30 p.m., and on my phone is Rampage Jackson. And he calls me while he's filming a podcast, and he's talking to the owner of the UFL, the United Fight League, and a gentleman named Harrison. And they're saying like, "Oh, why are you giving these guys some shine? And you should be talking about us. We put on events, and we have the team format, and we have the revenue sharing, and all this stuff." And they haven't really been on our radar. I think they've done some smaller events, but I know they had Cejudo involved and Frank Mir involved and others. And, I didn't really have a good answer as to why we haven't talked about them too much. We don't talk about every organization in the sun. There's just so much of the top tier stuff. But I said to him what I said on this show and what I said to Darren. I just don't believe in the format. I'd be more than happy to be proven wrong. I said I didn't believe in the PFL format when I was at ESPN, and that was a little bit controversial because they were on ESPN and I was saying it. This is when I was doing the show with Chael, Ariel and the Bad Guy. And this is one step further from the format, which is teams, cities, points, standings, regular season, playoffs, all that stuff. I again don't think that is the formula. If you are starting, if someone gave me $50 million right now and said you could start an MMA organization, I'm not investing in that format. I'm not investing in that type of organization. I'm not starting that type of organization. If there's a model that I'm trying to copy or recreate, it's not the IFL's model, it's Strikeforce's model. And what I mean by that is start locally, corner a market, get all the talent that you can from that market, which is what Strikeforce did with the Bay Area and AKA, and they had the pipeline, of all the great Bay Area talent coming in, and then slowly but surely start to build that out. So, you're in NorCal, and then maybe you do something in SoCal, and then maybe you do something in Washington, and then maybe you venture over into Reno, that type of format. I'm not saying it has to be in that part of the country per se. You could do it on the East Coast or whatever, but that to me is the best way to use that kind of money. And of course, there are regional promotions, but if you're getting a big investment and you're trying to go all in, I don't know if this is the best way to do it. And it's because we've seen it before. We've seen people overpay for older fighters. We've seen people, try this format before, IFL, PFL to some degree. And to me, it works best when you can just go and put on the best, biggest, most interesting, sexiest matchups possible. Standings be damned, meritocracy be damned. Just try to get people talking. And you also have to build stars. You have to build talent. You have to build homegrown talent that people are getting excited about and want to watch and be invested in. We have some of the material of their format and their point system that we showed last week. But just before we speak to Tyron Woodley, we could show it quickly here as a quick refresher. This is of the GFL, the Global Fight League that Darren Owen announced last week on the program. And the point system is somewhat akin to what the PFL has going. 4 points for a finish, 3 points for a decision win, 2 points for a draw, 1 point for a decision loss, obviously 0 points for a finish loss. Points contribute to the team's total score. So it's sort of like collegiate wrestling in that there's like meets where it's Ohio State versus Arizona State and they come together and there's points. That's the way I don't know, I kind of understood it all. And then there's a whole system where there's a regular season and then playoffs and then there's finals and then you have a champion. So you have these 6 cities, and I believe in total there are 6, but they're seeds, right? Oh, I see. So the 6... wait a second. Oh. I see. Okay, so the bottom two actually don't make the playoffs.
Yeah, so only 4 teams make the playoffs, it looks like.
I thought maybe they would do a thing where like the top 2 could be getting a bye, and then the 4 fight each other.
I love it.
That's like the
That'll
NFL
knock some
playoffs.
people out. Yeah. Not everyone can make the playoffs around here.
Yeah, no participation trophies, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna be living and breathing and dying with the New York squad.
Yeah. What do you think you'll be more into, this or the NBA Cup next year?
This GFL for sure.
Yeah.
Same amount of stakes.
Stop. What do you mean same amount of stakes?
Same amount of stakes.
I mean, you could say that these stakes are way bigger. It is weird, like watching the NBA Cup final yesterday and they're celebrating and it's like, oh yeah, and you're in Charlotte on Saturday. It's like they're celebrating with the cup and it's like...
Did I see Giannis crying?
I don't know if he cried. He definitely seemed happy. Dame seemed happy. Ownership seemed happy.
I mean, it's a little notch in the belt.
But it's like you're literally in, New Orleans on Friday.
Yeah. It's a nothing burger for me. I'm not the one to ask about the NBA Cup. Your sons are probably the ones that
they're into
the
it.
ones into it. Yeah. I'm not the one to ask.
They woke up today. I was like, "Yo, Milwaukee smoked OKC." What? They were certain that OKC. They thought Milwaukee sucked. They were subscribing to those early season storylines. Doc
this is
Rivers.
nothing more than a regular season game. So
What about the fact that Darvin Ham is 14-0 in the NBA Cup?
Yeah, I did see one meme where it was like NBA Cup Darvin Ham, and it was Phil Jackson hoisting the Larry O'Brien. That was a good one.
What about Torian Prince, the only man in NBA history to win back-to-back years?
Former Hawks legend. We raised them right.
Yeah, that's right. What's a greater factoid, that or Juliana Pena being the first member of the Parlay Boys to win a UFC title?
Yeah, they're both great. Back-to-back NBA Cups will definitely go on his resume, on his Hall of Fame resume. When he's getting what do? Do they do gold jackets?
Oh, in the NBA Hall of Fame? No.
It's just the Basketball Hall of Fame, right? Springfield.
Yeah, it's Basketball Hall of Fame. It's like, it's not a gold jacket, but it is some kind of color. Beige? It's some kind of off color. It's not like your typical...
Yeah.
It's like a beige.
Yeah.
I like it.
I didn't see us getting into the color of the jackets for the Basketball Hall of Fame.
You brought it up.
I know.
I will say, I just wish that they would include the G League and European teams and make it like full on.
Okay, see, that would be way cooler. Then I would be into it.
Yeah.
But then you couldn't call it the NBA Cup.
Call it the Basketball Cup. Or
I'm so down for that.
Or the Emirates Cup.
Incredible. That would be...
Imagine if like some G League team goes on a run.
I'm 1,000% with you, man.
Right?
I'm with you. Get the what is it, Europa League?
Get them into it. Yeah, no, the Europa League, yep.
Europa League? Euro Cup?
Get like the top, 4 teams there. Get the top 4 teams in G League.
Yep. And then get the top 4 teams from the East and the top 4 teams from the West, and that becomes the basketball.
That's fun.
I'm there for that. I would watch that.
Man, you could get the Australian teams too. They have a great league over there.
Come on, man.
NBL.
Sign me up. The Wongtong Tigers or whatever.
I don't know about that.
They always refer to on Inside the NBA.
They do?
Yeah.
Man, that would be fun. Yeah, there's something missing here because they're clearly trying to take from the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, but the magic of those cups, for the most part, is that you get some of these matchups.
Yeah, that you don't normally get.
Right.
Now, this is just like, was there any NBA Cup games where it's like they played in the NBA Cup and then their next regular season game was against the same team?
Pretty darn close. I know the Knicks and Nets played very close to each other. Yeah, doesn't work.
Unbelievably lame.
Yeah, it doesn't work. All right, let us go to our next guest. He is the chosen one. He's our good friend, Tyron Woodley. He'll be joining us in a matter of moments. We found out last week that he is a part of the new Global Fight League, and I wanted to get a little bit of color. I wanted to get some insight. We had Anthony Pettis and Kevin Lee on immediately after Darren Owen's announcement to talk more about it, but let's talk to Tyron. He's going to give us the goods. He's going to shoot straight with us, and he's kind enough to join us right here and now. There he is. Hello, Tyron. How are you?
What's up, Ariel? How you doing, my man?
It's good to talk to you, my man. Wanted to actually have you on last week, but you were in the air, I think, coming over from the Middle East.
Yeah,
so
I was coming back from Dubai.
Man, you spent a lot of time there, huh? It's like your second home?
Yeah, you know what I mean? I like Dubai because you got to recognize in that space is the opposite of what I'm used to. I'm from the murder capital of the world, right? So I got to watch everybody's intentions. I feel like the business that's presented to me out there is kind of upfront. I kind of know people's intentions. It's a few fluffers and fast talkers there, but in general, just it's a lot of good opportunities and a lot of opportunities for culture. And I feel like I am culture. So shit, let's cook up.
Okay, and so let me ask you about this GFL because I'll be honest with you, I did hear from a couple people saying like, "Hey, I saw my name on that list that was revealed on our show last week, and like I haven't quite signed just yet." And so, what is your status? Are you fully in with this new organization?
Yeah, I'm fully in with the organization. I feel like, so many people called me, was asking me, am I in, right? Because they know I'm not going to step to the plate and I'm not going to be a part of nothing that's bullshit. I'm not going to be a part of something that's not going to pay me super handsomely or put me in a platform where, the media and the attention I gather from that was just going to build my brand up. So everybody that probably signed, maybe 90% of them called me and made sure that they said, "You're in. Are you really in?" So yeah, I like it because I like that the OGs get paid, man. Like getting boxing money in MMA is a whole flex, and I'm just excited to be a part of the new wave. And I've been wanting to get back in MMA. I really just kind of like put it on pause. Like I kind of ghosted it for a minute, and it never really ghosted me when I needed it. So I've been making this journey back anyway, and it was a good opportunity. It had some Ric Flair drip with the digits on the payout, and then it made sense for me.
When did they first kind of come in contact with you, and when did this deal get done? Like, when did it all get really serious between you two?
My deal was quick. It was me that took longer because I do so many different things that I can't basically agree to a contract that I would already breach. I'm going to be commentating as a freelancer. I'm going to be commentating on the zone. You see me commentate, with you with the MVP situation, commentating PFL. So with a league, sometimes you see fighters from the league, maybe not in the PFL, but like in the UFC, you see those guys analyze. Like I even still have a contract with the UFC and ESPN. You still can see me on the desk anywhere. And I like to have that freedom because I feel like big moments and big fights I want to cover, it don't matter the promotion. So I had to make sure that was ironed out. I like the fact that when I told them what I needed to make, they didn't try to do a whole bunch of negotiation because I'm too far in the game for you to be trying to negotiate with me and play games when you just started, right? So that was the first thing that made me take it serious. It was no back and forth. When I said this is what it's gonna cost for me to put on these 4 ounce gloves and bust some nuggets up, this is what they gave out. And also just the thought process of the revenue share and the different branding and the way that, we can get it closer, closer to like some of these other sports we watch. It was very interesting.
So
Interesting.
So when you mention like boxing money and MMA and whatnot, what do you mean? Because to me, I'm like, I always beat the drum. I want the fighters to get paid. I want them to get more. They all deserve more. You guys deserve back pay. But, you've been around the sport a long time, and sometimes you see people come into the sport, they pay a lot of money, maybe most famously Affliction, right? They were only able to put on 2 events, and then they ran out of money. And so are there any concerns if they are paying massive, massive money out the gate that will dry up very quickly?
I mean, if I was a promoter of the organization, I may have some concern just because the roster, you can see how many. Like he sent me a couple more yesterday. That's not even on that list that you guys have, and I think it's 4 or 5 more world champions. When I look at that, it doesn't make me fearful because I'm not the promoter. All I can do is do my best, go train my ass off, bring as much value to the promotion I can bring, talk about it, let everybody know how they can watch it. We still got to educate. Like MMA is still young as hell. It's under 40 years old. We still got to continue to educate the fans on what the sport is and what they even watching. Because they're still saying, is this, are you doing what's the difference between MMA and UFC? Like we still are hearing that, and it's telling us that we need to educate. So I don't have any concerns. I'm at the part of my career where, I'm gonna let people see and I'm gonna remind them of who I am. And I feel like that's important for myself. And I think it's important for my fans that was with me for all those years that they see me go out and show them that, this is why we like Tyron, but this is why we didn't like Tyron. Either way it go, I'm gonna give them something to remember.
How do you feel about the format? The the regular season, playoff points, the teams, LA, New York, all that stuff. How do you feel about that?
Man, I'm to be honest, I feel like I'm gonna be fighting super fights. And I never really got an opportunity to fight super fights when I was in the UFC. I wanted to so bad. And I think that's what me and the brass kind of brushed heads a couple times because I was just begging for the Bisping fight, begging for the GSP fight, begging for the Nick, Connor. And it was all guys that was around my time, around my weight, and they all just didn't want to fight. And you can't make people fight that don't want to fight. You know what I mean? But in this situation, I feel like you'll see a couple guys that sign that is going to really, really raise your eyebrows. That's probably who I'm going to end up fighting.
Oh, okay. Any hints?
It'll be a big fight. It's a fight that I should have had in the UFC that I didn't. I actually spoke about having this fight. I'll let you, people will be able to do their research. I actually spoke about having this fight, and then people were acting like I was capped, like it was never a fight, like I was just making it up, even though I was offered the fight. So that fight can take place. It's some fights that I didn't even expect, but I'm like, hell yeah! If you want to let me take this lunch money right quick to this buster, I would kindly beat his ass. I'm tired of hearing him anyway. So there's a couple of those in there too. So I'm excited. Like that kind of stuff makes me excited. You know what I mean? And yeah, so it's a lot of stuff on the roster as well.
Are you exclusive to them as far as fighting is concerned?
I can't really talk about my contract because I don't want to have other fighters and managers get upset. But you know me, Ariel, I got to do my thing. And I feel like MMA, I'm going to be fighting for them a couple times next year. I could fight before then too. You know what I mean? I could fight early in the year. Right now, it's not looking like it's promising that it can happen, and I could fight later in the year. But it will be a time where you'll see me dedicated and kicking ass for the GFL.
And what is the motivation for you at this point? You've won the belts. You've fought the vast majority of the top guys in your weight class, and you've been away as far as MMA is concerned for a few years now. To come back in 2025, you're 42 at the moment. Like what is driving you? What's the motivation?
I mean, to be honest with you, I was when they called me about this offer in this fight, I was praying to God, like, what do you want me to do? Like, I still got it. I'm still fast. I'm still good. I'm like, the sport hasn't passed me. There's not like a fighter I can think of that's like, oh my God, I don't want to, he's just too much to deal with. I knew when I saw fighters that was way faster, way more skill, and it was they wanted it more, then those fighters will be the next generation. You know what I mean? I don't see those fighters that make me feel that way. I do see those fighters for sure in UFC, but not in my division and not in my crosshair. So I was in a point of kind of like trying to define what I'm supposed to do, because a part of me could be pride, right? God could say, hey, your last fight was technically supposed to be Darren Till, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your distractions and detours made you stay in this road longer, right? It could be me just wanting to go out on a win. It could be me just wanting to show everybody else what I got, right? But sometimes when you do too many things that bring it back to you, I feel like I'm not involving God with that. I feel like I got into this sport real clearly to show people that God's real through me and be a vessel and go out there and people be like, man, this kid is something special about him. And when they ask me, I would explain them my secret sauce. I kind of got away from that a little bit with all the razzle dazzle, all the clubbing, all the money. Man, I was killing it. I was like, I had people that didn't pay me for a year. And I didn't even notice because I was working too much. I was on Fox 3 or 4 days a week. I was doing my own TMZ show. I was doing music. I was doing movies. I was fighting, fought 4 world title fights in 1 year. I was on the 205 card, which is historically the biggest gate in Madison Square Garden history. I fought John Jones, fought Cormier, which is a big fight card as well. So I've been a part of some big cards. And even when I fought Darren Till, I was smashed in between the Triple G Canelo 1 and a Conor McGregor fight. So I was smashed in between that, but I still showed up, showed out. Shout out to Darren Till, but I did beat him like a drum. And I was thinking about everybody that was doubting me. So he got a whooping that he didn't even deserve. Like, I did it. You know what I mean? What am I gonna go back and win another title and that made me more of a legend? Or like what is a legend? Like, I feel like my goal is to just ask God, what we doing? You know what I mean? Because I could do other shit and probably make the same or more money, but I feel like this chapter deserves a proper closing, right? Either me saying I'm done or me going out there and turning up one more time for the one. And I feel like the turn up was an option. Right as I'm praying about that, this offer comes in. It was pretty smooth. Compared to other negotiations. I'm getting paid. Like, people need to quit saying what you worth, because we don't even know what we worth. So calm that down. I'm getting paid what I asked for. And I didn't get somebody to try to put me on clearance, to try to put a red sticker on my fucking brand. They said, okay, let's go. All right. And we did it.
Wow.
So that's my motivation. I'm excited. You know what I mean? I feel like my story and my fight career is going to be spoken about, maybe written about, and hopefully people coming through, not just kids, but also adults that go through these choices. And I had a lot of choices. Like, I feel like if I never lost focus ever, like where you see all these guys in Riyadh season making these crazy bags, you see all these, like, these are my training partners. Like, Bilal is my dog. That's my training partner. Johnny Evelyn is my training partner. Like, Usman, I like mentored Usman, right? So, like, to even think that somebody in those categories, like, I used to torture Kobe Covington in training camp. I used to pay him $500 to dust him up every week, and he left early. Like, a lot of people don't know that. So, like, I got distracted. I let the things that came with success take me off of my focus. And when you take your eyes off your focus, I was in the season of harvest. I had already planted them good seeds. I was a savage. Nobody was outsmarting me. Nobody was out working me. Nobody was out conditioning me. Nobody was out training me. Nobody was out thinking me. I covered every fucking base for a long time, and I was living a better life. I wasn't doing bullshit. Then it got to the point where I was doing so well when I started planting those other seeds in the ground, right? I really didn't trip off. I'm sowing seeds that are going to later harvest. Right now, it ain't me training hard and being a good father and being a great businessman that was making me win. It was what I did in the season before that was making me win. Right. So as I was winning and winning those titles back to back to back, shutting everybody up, you know what I mean? Then as I was planting those seeds, what came after that? That's when the drought came. That's when people that, like, I beat all the savages, Gorilla, Natural Born Killer, Ruthless, and then I lose to fucking Gilbert. No disrespect on everybody, but just listen to the way it sounds. I lose to Marty, Gilbert, Luque, and Kobe after smashing all the guys on paper. Like, Hunter and Dana called me themselves, like, Tyron, I don't see nobody that's gonna beat you now. After I beat everybody, me beating in the front of it. So focus is a big thing. Like, if anybody watching this, no matter what builds you in, stay focused, man. Like, look at the people, like LeBron James ain't perfect, but him, Steph Curry, and these other people, I think they stay focused just a little bit more. Like, my dog Ray Lewis told me, he said, I lost focus 5 times in my entire fucking NFL career. I'm like, I lose focus 5 times a day. You know what I mean? So that's long-winded, but that's real shit. That's why you want me on here, because
No, I
that's
appreciate
really
it.
where I'm coming from. That's really where it's at, and it's not perfect, but it's pure.
I appreciate that very much. Thank you for the answer,
Yeah.
the thoughtful answer, as always.
Yeah.
You know, I'd be remiss if I don't actually follow up on that Colby story, because I'd never heard that before. Can you tell us more about that? What is that all about?
I mean, Kobe is a like, I don't want to rain on this parade, but the parade kind of over with. I think he disrespect the division. I think he disrespect other fighters by just picking and choosing a fight. I had defended the belt several times while he had an interim belt, and then now he comes and fights me when they think I'm down and out. Kobe used to come in, like, we used to laugh at him. Like, I remember being at Dan Lambert house. No bullshit. It was me, Hector Lombard, Robbie Lawler, Thiago Alves, Ben Saunders. It was like a welterweight poker night at Dan Lambert house, right? It was really fly, to be honest. We watched them fight. And I don't think Kobe was there, but we was all laughing how Kobe was just so capped. He was going and telling other people how we were all scared to train with him, how he can't get no good work here. Like, he was talking to these other teams, like Alpha Males or whatever's about that. And then we was all like, we all made a bet, like an inside bet. All right, if he can last one round with any of us that's trying to like really put it on him, we'll all give him 100,000. It was something ridiculous. That's how at that time that we was that confident. So I feel like with Kobe, I brought him in to St. Louis. I paid him. I put him in this nice place to stay. I paid for all his food. I took him to the gun range. I set him up with chicks. Like I did everything, like boxing private lessons, jiu-jitsu private lessons, strength and conditioning private lessons, on top of paying him. Nobody was doing it for their training partners. I take care of my training partners. But he was just always like running. He ran for me the whole training camp. He literally didn't want to work out. We doing wrestling drills, and you looking around like, who the hell else will I want to fucking help me wrestle besides you? That's why you're here. I was fighting Roy McDonald. Come in there because I knew Roy, and he did actually. He did pressure my ass too, did he? I figured Roy would try to pressure me and push me against the cage, which he did. But Kobe came in camp and he just ran from me, and he just was do stupid shit. Like I'll be choking him out, and I would have to make the choice: do I keep choking and put him in sleep? Do I break his arm? And then I'm like, I'm not gonna be a dick. And then he'll be like, oh, pop out like he got out. Like Kobe, you don't stop. But it's a whole movie in itself. Like if I send you a video, it would be kind of shady, which I'm not in that space. Like, I don't take the curtain off of an act that's good. His act is trash. It was funny for a little bit when we was bored, when John was on a hiatus, Ronda wasn't fighting, Conor was out. Everybody was we listened to Kobe because he just came in. But in reality, I used to torture Kobe. He never won a moment of anything, not even a minute. He never won a moment or any exchange one time. And I think he left early acting like his foot was hurt in the training camp. And these are all credit. He asked Taylor Crawl, Roger Crawl's son, asked Edmund Belbusu, asked Derek Fairchild, asked Dean Thomas. And I remember the final day, like, I should be saving this for my memoir because I got a fire ass memoir, all these stories. But Ariel, you my dog. You always been 100. So I'm giving you the cream of the crop. I told Kobe the last day that he trained with me. I said, Kobe, you a dick. And I said, today, if you act like you getting out of an armbar, or if you don't submit to a choke, or if you get mad that I took you down and have an attitude, and I'm a fucking 2-time All-American Hall of Fame wrestler, like I'm not supposed to take you down. If you run for me, I'm going to break your fucking arm today. I'm going to choke you out. I'm going to knock you out. If you run for me and you run off the mat like you've been doing all camp, I'm going to follow you on the carpet and I'm going to commence to beating your ass. Are we got that clear? He said, yeah. And we sparred and he left the next day.
Wow.
Yeah, that's real shit.
Well, he fought another St. Louis guy, and I know you've kind of had an off and on relationship. You guys,
me and
Joaquin.
I didn't watch the fight yet. I don't like to do everything everybody else doing, right?
Okay.
So I'm gonna go back and check it out. Me and Joaquin started training with my first trainer, Mike Rogers, and I started back training. So we kind of started training at the same time. It's kind of like Joaquin's been at my gym many years, right? But he's the kind of kid that see you and like, no, I think I can beat you. I want to get in the gym and try to spar you to see where I'm at. And at that point in my career, I couldn't be sparring guys that was trying to measure where they were at because you get hurt or I hurt you trying to fucking teach you a lesson, right? Either way it goes, it's no bueno for either one of us. So we never really got a chance to train when he was trying to train with me. But he was at my gym. He was at a couple of gyms quite often. But yeah, so I was going to actually try to make it out to the fight. But for my first UFC fight, going back to spectate, I didn't want it to be Colby Covington. You know what I mean? That ain't.
Yeah.
I'd rather rush Alex Pereira or something like that because he was savage.
So, I was curious because we actually just spoke about this. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago? It was yesterday with Aljamain Sterling.
Yeah.
And, I think in the past we've talked about Aljo, but now we're starting to see the story again with Merab where, they're kind of pressuring him to come back quicker and he's at
these people better quit letting pressure bust their pipe. Like I told Aljo, I said, yo ass shouldn't have fought. Because guess what? Nobody want to hear, you took the fight anyway when you was injured or you wasn't feeling good. Oh, my nephew coming through. You wasn't feeling good. Nobody want to hear that shit. They don't want to hear that. So at the end of the day, right, don't fight when you're not ready to fight, mentally, physically, emotionally, right? Because if you lose, you're not going to get another chance. You'll be better off letting them go on and interim the shit out your division, come back, fight when you're mentally ready, physically ready, and emotionally ready to fight. Because it's two different things going on. A promoter got to get a certain amount of events with a certain amount of razzle dazzle on it. People in asses and seats, and people buying t-shirts and beer. That's their job. Their job is not to think if you having a mental health crisis, if you are injured like a motherfucker, and like I fought all my title fights injured as hell, right? You don't get them choices and options. So I think I'm not trying to start a fucking revolt, but just think about it. Would you rather come back and fight an interim champion to make it an undisputed belt as still champion, or would you rather go out there and then after the fight say, oh, you know what, I wasn't healthy, I fought too much, and I was injured. You know what I mean? Say, just think about your career a little bit more logically. Do what's best for you. And if they don't like it, like it was sometimes the UFC loved me because I took that fucking Dong Young Kim fight. He elbowed the shit out of Holloway in like a millisecond. Took that fight on 2 weeks' notice. I took Damian Maia fight on 3 weeks' notice, sorry. I took Darren Till fight on 3 weeks' notice, and I wasn't healthy for any of those fights. But I came through. I came through clutch. You know what I mean? But these guys got to think about them because...
You mentioned the Darren Till fight. I just wanted to ask because I saw Merab. I was worried for him because it seems like he's not just fighting Umar in January. He's fighting the promotion as well. He seemed very emotional and upset. And I'm wondering
I don't want to get into that area. I don't want to say that.
What I'm just saying.
I co-signing that because
you have felt that, right? Where you're not just fighting the guy that in the cage.
Fight. No, I did, but now I'm out of it, so now I'm wiser. It ain't no fight. This their promotion. You're fighting for them. So these are the terms we agree or we don't agree. It's our choice, right? We can't say, okay, somebody keep doing to us. They don't have you at gunpoint. We can all slide whenever we want, or we can test the waters and go fight somewhere else and just get sued up. But we got choices. If I had a choice to go back, I would recognize way earlier that no matter what I feel, or no matter if I think I'm getting set up or whatever, this they motherfucking promotion. And at the end of the day, they're gonna do what's best for them. I got to make a way to keep winning, make as much money as I can while I'm here, because we can't act like I'm the biggest signee of this league, right? Because I'm a 5-time champion. Where? In the UFC. We can act like that and like, oh, it's just because we just signed them. No, I got signed because I did it 4 times in a year, right? So at the end of the day, that I don't feel bad for Merab. I talked to Merab a long time ago about what he should do. I talked to him in private in California when Aljo still had the belt. I told him, this is your brand, dog. Do this right here. Say this shit. Move like this. Stand on this. Because this is you anyway. So if you be like this, fighters are they're gonna have to fight you, and the fans are gonna love you, right? And that's not what he's doing right now. Mm-hmm. Now, I mean, I'm not the boss of him.
Sure.
I told Joaquin a couple things too. He wasn't listening either.
Can I ask what you told him?
Joaquin or the other?
Buckley.
Merab. I told Buckley, shit, your resume is a highlight reel. Like, quit asking for main events and quit asking for, you know what I mean, like these things in St. Louis and all this. Like, that's not that important. You're trying to be the best in the world. Just keep winning, fucking people up like you've been doing. You're fun to watch. You actually look like you're genuinely having fun out there, which is very rare that somebody's having fun getting punched and punching. And, you know what I mean, you ripped up, you know what I mean, you say funny shit. You got this uncle mustache. That's the big brother me teasing him. And it's like I'm not gonna forget you, right? His brand can be crazy. Like watch this. I'm gonna help my dog out free. Watch this. Give me a year. I'm gonna help Joaquin Buckley with his brand. Okay. And in 1 year, you're gonna see a whole bunch of different activations, endorsements, sponsorships. Which when you're worth more outside the UFC, they have to pay you more. That was what I did.
Right.
They didn't like it. When you worth more outside, when you get back on this other side, they got to pay you more. I'm gonna help them out.
Okay, all right. Can I just ask, because you were talking about taking fights on short notice and whatnot? Amazingly, it just occurred to me, the second Jake fight was exactly 3 years ago today, believe it or not, December 18th, which is wild. Do you regret taking that one on 2 weeks' notice? I remember you joining us from the set of
Hell no.
You don't regret it?
Cobra Kai.
Yeah, I remember. Yes.
Yeah. No, I don't regret it at all. I had flew my coach out training as if, because my gut told me that my spirit never failed me. It's always been a buck. So I don't know why I went against my spirit. But I brought my coach GT out, brought him out to St. Louis, and he never got a chance to really work on the basics.
Gonna try to get him back.
All right, we lost him there real quick. We were fighting through it a couple times, and just a few more minutes with Tyron, dropping some wisdom, dropping some knowledge on all of us, and reaffirming that he is 100%
back now whenever you
involved with GFL. Okay, Tyron, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry about that. Now, what I'm saying is I brought my coach GT. I brought him out, and I brought him out as if I was fighting Jake anyway, right? And then I did that for weeks, 2 or 3 weeks in St. Louis. He came out to Atlanta and trained me on the set of Cobra Kai. That was kind enough to let me train on set. And literally, it was like maybe 4 weeks before the fight. I'm like, damn, this fight gonna go actually happen. So then I started training more just for fun. So sometimes when you're not in the fight camp, you like sparring and just laughing and poking fun at each other. And I went to the gym from camaraderie and just to like sweat. So I was still kind of moving around, but I wasn't moving. Excuse me. I wasn't moving around like I was when I was anticipating fighting him. So then when Nikisa hit me about fighting him, it was like 2 weeks. And I was like, let me go train. Let me go train real hard and see how I feel. I did ask Dana. I did that to everybody. Let me go train real hard. So I go in the gym and I train like it's a fight. And I tell myself, yo ass out of shape, yo ass is gonna get beat, or nah, let's go ahead and get this. So I said, let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I was beating him the whole fight. Like literally, I dropped my hand one time at the wrong time when the whole training camp was never drop your hands. I got too comfortable. I hit him, I slammed him, I headbutted him, I did some other shit, and then it got to the point where it's like I was kind of just like, whatever. Then I thought he was gonna throw overhand because that's my punch. Then I'm like, he not gonna throw it. Right when I said he not gonna throw it, he lit that motherfucker up. So I was gonna win that fight. You know what I mean? One mistake, he threw a punch at the same time as one mistake. I mean, I was winning. Was that 6th round? I was winning every single round. So,
what do you make of this Conor McGregor Logan Paul stuff?
What they talking about fighting?
Yeah, he posted something.
I
yesterday.
mean, UFC merged with WWE, so I mean, I would imagine anything's open right now.
Okay,
I wouldn't downplay anything.
For you though, you're gonna come back. Do you know when this first fight for GFL would be?
I know the earliest fight is in April.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly when. Like I'm not at the liberty to say yet because I feel like it depends on who I'm fighting. When I'm fighting one of the names that makes a lot of sense, just storyline wise, and just people will actually fucking want to go and watch it, no matter what league is on. I feel like that they may take a few more months to promote. So I may not be the first fight in April, but I'm preparing as if I'm fighting in April. Like getting back on the mat, shit. Not wrestling in a long time or grappling, and like now all of a sudden you can elbow. Oh, I miss them.
Yeah.
So like it's gonna take me at least 4 weeks to acclimate. So I'm gonna be prepared for April anyway.
By the way, is it ring or cage?
Cage.
Okay. And are you talking about GSP?
Hey, Ariel.
I mean, it seemed like you were alluding to that, but you could tell me to go F off, but I feel like I should probably just ask straight up.
I mean, you know GSP.
I'm going to call him up after
that's
this.
Your dog, right?
I'm going to call up my boy.
When you gonna get a Tyron Woodley bobblehead on your desk? Like,
do you have a Tyron Woodley bobblehead? Is there one?
Let's make one. Everybody online. Ariel's the number one dude in this shit we call broadcast.
Sure. Whatever you want, yeah. Right?
Me and him need to split a deal on a bout.
No, I don't want to split it. You take it all.
No,
I just want to have it on my desk.
Show.
I want you to get paid for it.
Hey, if you shoot the bird down, we break bread at the table. That's how it works.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Well, this is exciting. Exciting things. By the way, it's not Eddie Hall, is it?
Hey, hey, you a researcher.
What's this guy Eddie Hall saying? There was talks of you guys fighting. This is a gigantic dude. He's like 350 pounds.
Oh, he said something about me fighting him?
Yeah, but then he said, "No, I'm not doing it."
Yeah. Somebody asked me to fight his ass. I said, "You mean the dude that fought 2 people?" They said, "Yeah, but we're gonna make you MMA so you have extra weapons." No, his big ass gonna have a 4-ounce glove to fucking punch you with. What am I finna nah?
All right.
I ain't for that circus show. I'm for the shenanigans, but I ain't for the shit show. I ain't finna be fighting no 300. Somebody did ask me to fight him, but it was not enough money. They wanted me to do it in like 2 or 3 weeks, all the way in fucking Ireland somewhere, and I was like, nah, cuz
no,
I'm not the one for that. I'm not the one that even offered that. I'm surprised you even offered me that. But
you did do a reality show in Russia with Luke Rockhold, right?
Yeah.
What was that?
Trash and Rockhold on that show.
Was there a fight at the end of it, or was there supposed to be a fight?
No, it wasn't a fight at the end of it. I mean, Rockhold got out of pocket once or twice, and we had to make sure we're not ever going to do that again. The cameras are not cameras. But I respect Luke. Like, you know what I mean? When I was coming up, he was coming up at the same time. You know what I mean? He was always trying to prove himself just because of the AK gym. And he was a good measuring stick for like cardio if I was in good shape and if I was iron and griddle. So I ain't gonna talk shit on Luke, but on the show I was talking mad shit.
Man, always very busy, but it's exciting that you're coming back, and I'm happy to hear you confirm that you are a part of these plans. And
I'm excited to get in camp. I don't know why. That's the shittiest part of fighting, but there's so much stories from camp. I'm excited to get in camp again.
I'm happy to hear that you are excited and in good spirits as well. Thank you as always, Tyron. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for the great stories and the insight, and happy holidays to you and your family.
Happy holidays to you as well, my man.
There he is, the great Tyron Woodley joining us, the former UFC welterweight champion, now a part of the big GFL plans. And we found out more about them last week. Everyone's talking about it. Even Dana White was asked about GFL and their plans. And he said, come on in. The water's warm. It's nice over here. But let's see. They say they have a draft in January, end of January. And then the season is supposed to start in April. They want to have a broadcast deal. I think that would be huge for them. That would be very important. It's a massive way to generate revenue, and then things will kick off in April with their regular season and then the playoffs. But he's talking about super fights as well, so perhaps that will be a part of the plans too. All right, great stuff from Tyron. In about an hour's time, a little less, we're going to be joined by Kai France. I'm excited to talk to him. He's one of the top flyweights in the UFC, and of course has been in the news, and we've talked about him quite a bit over the last couple of weeks when talking about who Alex Pantoja should fight next, and obviously he came up in the post-fight interview of one Manel Kape. So that is coming up, and then after that, we will answer your questions on the nose.
Nice to take a little hydration break.
However, let us welcome in our next guest, and he is joining us in studio. We have big news, my friends, because the man himself, Paul Hughes, is here, and he's returning to action on January the 25th against Usman Nurmagomedov. He's back. Good to see you. Hello, Paul. How are you? Welcome.
Have you grown? What's going on?
I'm on the...
You're looking jacked.
Hey, I'm on the stuff. Don't tell anyone, okay? We don't have to do testing. You know yourself, Paul. You know yourself. You know yourself. Hot out of the gate. I like it. Welcome to our new home. How about us?
Amazing.
Prior to 2024, I don't think we did a single interview, and this year I think this is our 4th or 5th.
I think so, yeah.
Look at that. And 2 in-studio interviews.
Yeah, I mean, here, you're very good to me. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
Congratulations on the new move. Yahoo Studios here.
Yes.
It's really cool.
Thank you.
Really cool.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. What brings you to New York? Is it just like a media thing?
Media run, yeah. I was in South Florida there training, and I'm going to a Boston Celtics game tomorrow night.
Wow. Are you an NBA fan?
Casual.
Okay.
A real casual. My brother's a massive fan, and when I told him I was going to the Celtics game, he lost his mind. He was like, what? He's like, you know they're champs? And I was like, I know they're champs, but is that big of a deal? And he was like, yes. I'm like, well,
it's a big deal. I actually despise them.
Oh, the Celtics.
I fucking hate them.
Why? Because they're better than the Knicks. Is that what?
That is exactly it. That is exactly it.
I got the rundown that some of the PFL team are Knicks fans. They were telling me all about it.
Yes. Do you know who they're playing?
The Bulls.
The Bulls. Okay,
Yeah.
classic. Two classic teams.
Yeah. I was delighted to hear that, to be honest, because of obviously the Last Dance documentary. All that. Like, I loved it. So just to see the Bulls is going to be pretty cool as well.
And so, are you staying here throughout the holidays? You're staying in America, not here in New York, but Florida.
I am now. Yeah, I was supposed to actually go home today, back to Ireland, but I'm going to stay over Christmas now, just to stay in the zone here.
And
plenty of guys training out there still.
Is that difficult?
Not really, to be honest. Look, the job's not finished. 5.5 weeks until the biggest night of my life, so it's only one Christmas to sacrifice. Yes, it will be sad to not see everybody, see all my friends, flying home, see my family, all that fun stuff, but it's what must be done.
Is Christmas a big deal in the Hughes household?
Yeah, it is.
What are the traditions? Christmas
in Ireland is very big in general. Usually I would take a December and a January off fighting no matter what. I've always done that because I love to enjoy that Christmas time. Pints of Guinness with the boys, it's the best time of year. But Christmas is a really nice time in Ireland. It is amazing. But it is what it is. Look, I have a job that needs to be done, and that's my focus.
And so I remember we had you on right after the win over AJ McKee, and you were saying you were very clear, I want Usman. And shortly thereafter, we saw the face-off with you two. When you guys did that face-off outside, by the way, was it already a done deal, or were you kind of just like planting a seed?
It was done.
It was done. Where was this, by the way? Where were you guys over here in this photo? Were you in?
This is the Dubai frame. So this is like a pretty historic landmark in Dubai. We actually done like a few different face-offs. Done one at the beach, done one at, not quite as nice as this, the beach, but the other one was at the Museum of the Future with the likes of Ngannou and all. We were at a sports conference there, so it was a cool experience.
And do you get to chat with him at all? Do you get a vibe check from him?
Yeah, as mentioned, we done 3 different face-offs, so there's quite a bit of time in his vicinity. Obviously, this is a question that most people ask is like, what's he like? Did you make any reads? And to be honest, I just see a stone cold killer. And he's looking at the exact same thing. We have he's a guy that has no reason to doubt himself, and myself as well. So it's just kind of, there's not really too many reads to be made, I don't think. At that point, maybe fight week, you get a little bit more of an energy check when it's closer to the actual fight. But, when we were there, it was kind of like business,
Is there any talking, any trash talking, anything like that?
No,
any words?
There hasn't been. It's been pretty respectful. I obviously have a great deal of respect for him. Until literally just before I came in here, the PFL were reading out some of the translations of some of the shit he's been saying, and I actually found that incredibly disrespectful.
Tell me. I missed all this. Where was this?
It was, I don't know if they've done it on purpose before I've come in here.
Oh, can you give it to me? I'd like to read it as well.
They've got me riled up.
What do you say?
I'll give you the basis.
Yeah.
This is, at least my understanding of their translations, is basically like, who am I? And I don't even deserve to be here.
He said that about you.
Apparently, allegedly, as I would say, that's unbelievably disrespectful, but in a way I like it as well, because whenever they told me that and I was seeing some of the things he was saying, it really just put me in a different place, to be honest. I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky guy, but when it comes to competition and when it comes to my future, which is everything to me, I take it unbelievably seriously. So,
do you think he actually believes that, or do you think he's trying to get under your skin? Or just insult you?
I think he does believe it. At the end of the day, like, I'm the new kid in the block here. He was teed up to fight AJ for a long time there. Whatever it was, like a 6-month period, he was supposed to fight AJ. I've come in, had my debut, and then took AJ out of there, and now I'm in there for the title. So he's probably like, he doesn't really deserve it. He's not a big enough name yet, but he'll soon find out.
You say you have respect for him.
Yeah.
You did crack a joke though about being on the stuff. Do you believe his story, or do you believe that he was? The story was, he had an exemption, and it was a 6-month thing and all that stuff. But sometimes it's true and sometimes it's not. What do you believe?
It's really hard to know because I don't know him personally. I mean, all I can do is look at kind of the history of doping in his region. It's obviously very prevalent. It doesn't surprise me that people from his region are still getting popped. Do I believe he's taking steroids? I don't quite know, to be honest. I don't quite know. At the end of the day, people who are juicing, they're always going to be ahead of the game, right? That's why they're juicing. They're not getting caught. So, yeah, I'm not quite. I'm not exactly sure my beliefs on that yet. But what I do know is, whatever the fuck he's taking doesn't matter. You know, it really doesn't matter. I really believe that, especially in MMA, over 5 rounds, over championship, in a championship fight, I don't think steroids isn't enough to beat me, first of all. But over 5 fives, it's too long of a time for me to expose weaknesses in his game. It doesn't matter. He could be taking everything under the sun. And whether he is or he isn't, I'm not honestly sure. I haven't looked too much into it. But it would take a lot more than steroids to beat me over 5 rounds, 100%.
Can you tell when someone's on steroids? Whether by eyesight or like feel? Like, I guess, have you ever fought someone and been like, this is a little bit...
I haven't fought anyone where I thought, oh, this is different. I think it's probably just a case of like guys recovering. I think that's what people use it for, is like to like train longer and lift heavier and things like that. I think there's like physical tells of like shoulders and stuff like that, but I can't recall ever fighting anybody that I thought was on steroids, you know.
So the interesting thing about Usman is, like, there's always this thing about, oh, is the PFL as good as the UFC, you know, all this talk. I feel like right now, as far as their champions are concerned, Usman and Patchy are the two guys who people say like they are as good as any of the UFC champions in their respective weight classes. Do you subscribe to this? Do you think that Usman is as good as people make him out to be? And obviously the last name helps and all that, but the body of work is impressive as well. Are you as impressed?
Yeah, I am. I do think I think he would definitely be top 10. No question. 18-0, undefeated, beat some pretty good guys. Pretty good, not incredible. I would absolutely have him in the top 10. Yeah.
Okay. You know, it's been an interesting time now with the PFL Bellator stuff, and a lot of the fighters have been openly complaining, and you have had a great year with them because you've been very active, right? So you're one of those guys who has benefited from the PFL Bellator model where you can go back and forth. When you see some of this stuff, especially from the Bellator guys, what is your reaction? It is all one company, but it's, you know, we had Patricio on the show on Monday, and he was basically begging Don to release him, saying, please just let me go.
Well, look, obviously being a fighter, I'm always fighter first. So, I mean, to hear things like that, it obviously makes me sad, you know, because especially like contractual situations, because I was kind of stuck in a way in my old contract where I kind of like, I should have been able to leave really, but I wasn't allowed to. So I only have empathy for these champions, especially people like Pitbull, who's like, essentially been there for so many years. But I don't know, I don't see this being talked about that much, and maybe this is controversial, maybe I should just keep it to myself, but like, you know, obviously Bellator were going to be going out of business with Paramount and all that, and PFL acquired them. Great opportunity, great deal. It's not like the guys that, I'm going to sound like a dick saying this, it's not like they haven't got any fights. And I know that sounds bad, but the way I kind of see it is like, yeah, but if Bellator hadn't been acquired, you would have one option. You could go to the UFC. That's fine, you can go there, but you're not going to make... It would probably take you 3, 4, maybe even 5 UFC fights to make what you were making as a champion in Bellator. That's kind of just how I seen it. Like, I feel for them not being able to get... Obviously, you want to fight as many times as you can. You want to make money for your family. But from what I've seen, the PFL are planning like 30 shows next year. You know, that should keep everybody active. So maybe the first year was just growing pains. At least that's what I hope for the fighter's sake. As I say, I'm always fighters first. So hopefully this year was just growing pains. And next year, PFL just takes it to a whole new level, which I have full faith that they will.
2 fights in, you're getting this big fight. Safe to assume you are happy. You are happy with the decision.
Oh, I mean, beyond happy. Honestly, my life has changed so much, especially since the AJ win. My life's completely
How
different.
has it changed?
Oh, I mean, just honestly, everything.
Oh, wow.
You know, like, my career was quite a slow burn. You know, like, I had cage warrior success. I won my first world title when I was 24. So, you know, that was just over 3 years ago now. So, like, I've been in a nice position for some time, but it's been like a slow burn, which has been nice. But then after beating AJ, everything changed, you know, in terms of, honestly, everything. financially, of course, you know, such a big opportunity. I got a bonus on top of my normal contract. That was a big deal for me. It was life-changing. That has now allowed me to invest so much more into my training camps. I'm able to bring my team out to Florida. I'm able to go to Dubai 3 weeks early, pay for everything. That is life-changing in itself. To not have to worry about rent at the end of the month, which I did have to a lot in Cage Warriors, where I was barely even covering rent for a couple of months with one fight. That's how my life's changed, you know. Wow. So it's been unbelievably positive, you know.
And when you say the bonuses, like, was that just something extra that they gave you that you weren't expecting?
So because the AJ fight was just obviously a bigger magnitude of a fight, I got just a better deal for the fight.
Got it.
Do you know what I mean? Because I obviously had an initial contract,
sure,
and then because that was obviously a big step up in competition, I'm not going to fight someone like AJ McKee for the same money. So yeah, it worked out well.
How is it back home? More people coming up to you, more people recognizing you, and what's that like? How do you deal with that?
It's awesome. It's different as well because, you know, as mentioned, like 3 years since I won the first world title, like if you're in the combat sports kind of vicinity, which a lot of people in Belfast are because we're a fighting city, it would have been normal for me to run into people all the time everywhere. But see now, it's like the energy that people bring now is just totally different. It's like holy shit, when people see me, they're like rolling down the windows or shouting out, they're jumping out of cars, there's bus drivers shouting that at me. It's kind of like
amazing.
It's the energy that's different, you know, and it's like, fuck, you're just living your normal. I'm just a normal fucking guy, live in Belfast, going to my normal coffee shops, and then someone sees you and they lose their mind, and you're like, what the fuck, you know?
Do you feel more pressure that comes with that because there's like this big spotlight on you, not to mess up, not to disrespect the town you're from or the country that you're representing, all that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, of course, there's going to be more pressure there, but thankfully, I'm a pretty like chill enough kind of guy, a pretty happy-go-lucky guy, as I say. So it's like, it's all positive. You know, when I see someone, it's never like, oh, fuck's sake. Like, it's always unbelievably positive. So, I mean, that's a huge blessing to have that in your life, you know? So it's something that, you know, it's awesome.
A lot of sponsors, a lot of people wanting to work with you, a lot of businesses.
Definitely a huge bump since the AJ fight, you know?
But what about these dastardly devils, Boojum? Oh, what's going on with these wankers?
Told you about this?
What's going on with these guys? Okay, so
who the hell on am I second here?
What's happening with
if I do not get an endorsement deal or something here, I'm sitting with Ariel Helwani here, the biggest show in the world. MMA show. Well, the biggest show
in the world.
In the whole world.
Bigger than anything.
Bigger than anything. And I haven't got a deal, but we'll leave it at that.
Okay,
you know, so I feel like, you know, Boojum's like a girl that just doesn't want you.
What's going on here?
And you're just like, please.
For those that don't know, Boojum is like,
they're like, nah.
Are they like a jabroni Chipotle?
They're like way better than Chipotle, though.
Okay, here we have Boojum right here, the Mexican burrito bar.
I'm gonna cry.
What is this? What is this? What do we have here? Why is this so great? I did some research.
Bro, my mates are gonna be fucking pissing themselves right now.
I did some research here, and it just looks like a low rent Chipotle. What's going on? Why do you love them so much?
It's way better than Chipotle. Watch your mouth there. Come on, it's way
Why do you love? So apparently, you're hitting them up and asking for a sponsor.
I'm sliding in the DMs.
Yes.
You know what? It's like 12 o'clock. I'm saying, are you up? You know, like I'm trying everything.
And what's happening?
Like,
they're ignoring you.
They're not getting back.
Are they leaving you unseen, or they're not
unseen?
Wow.
I want to talk about it. You're kind of getting.
I'm sorry. Well, no, I'm here to say this guy is flying the flag on the internet. He's about to fight at the biggest fight of the year for Bellator and PFL. Boojum, get your act together. They better have a logo there on the chest.
This is unbelievable.
On the butt.
This is unbelievable. I can't believe
this
happening.
If I go right now, what's the order? What's the order? What do I need to get?
Do you want me to tell you just my order?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's probably the order, right?
Okay.
Like, what's the go-to?
Half a portion Mexican rice because I don't want to be too racy. You know.
Now this is out of camp. I want you like full throttle. Like, what are you getting?
This is out of camp.
Okay.
Yeah. Half a Mexican rice. I need to leave room for more protein. You know.
Okay. Yeah. I got you.
Both beans, pinto beans, black beans.
Both, huh?
Double chicken. Chicken's the goat and Boojum.
Are there certain types of chicken, or is it just one type of chicken?
They bring in different types at times, but there's one set chicken that's just the best. You know.
Yeah.
Hot salsa, Chipotle crunchums, which. You know,
what is that?
So it's essentially tortilla chips, like kind of crunched up, with a little bits of chorizo in them.
Wow,
it's fantastic. A little bit of crunch onto the meat, but also a wee bit of chorizo if you want that. You know, it's fantastic. It's great work. Sour cream.
Okay,
just a little cheese.
Damn.
Chipotle sauce. Wrapped up. Boom.
No lettuce?
No lettuce.
Wow.
Lettuce?
I don't know. Nothing? No greens?
You a Chipotle guy? Are you into burritos?
I actually love burritos, but Chipotle is that's like McDonald's.
Yeah.
This is like a chain, right?
This is fantastic.
This is high quality.
This is pre-made. It started in Belfast, now across the island of Ireland.
Company.
It's now expanded to England as well.
Wow.
You know, so there's a bit of a thing there.
They have to represent one of their own.
I don't know. Look,
this is a source that we're going to work to make this happen.
We'll see.
Where's Tim at?
If you can get it, where's Tim?
Yeah,
Simpson
where's
at?
Tim at?
I don't know. You talk to him for me, will you?
If I get this done, what do we get? 1%, 2%?
Whatever percent, whatever.
I just want to be able to try
money.
it.
I don't even want that. I don't even want money. I just want a wee card.
Oh,
that I walk in and just go, here.
They have one of those? Do you know people that have those?
I think they should make me one.
Yeah. Like,
you know?
that's all you want.
Yeah.
You want like the
a
Derek
Nando's
Lewis
black card. Have you heard
yeah,
of that?
yeah, of course.
That's what I want. A Boujum
Derek
black
Lewis
card.
got the card from Popeye's Chicken.
Yeah.
Where they said he
disrespected Popeye's
Yes,
Chicken
exactly.
all
And
the
so
time.
he got it. That's what you want. You don't even want a paycheck. You just
I just want a wee card that gives me free burritos.
Anytime. You and your friends or just you?
Me and mates got a sort of.
Oh, I thought you were going to say fuck your friends.
No, come on. They're going to be watching right now and they're going to be pissing themselves at this whole Boujum crack. Like, I'm telling you.
What is Boujum, by the way?
I don't know.
Okay, it's just a name.
Yeah.
Is it hard to talk about this while you're cutting weight? I mean, are you officially cutting weight? Are you dieting right now?
Yeah, but like my weights, I've been so disciplined since getting this fight. My weight's basically almost where I wanted to be for fight week. So I'm right at that like perfect level.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you like? What do you now? Like, what do you walk around at?
I walk around like a bit heavier now, but right now I'm probably like 176 or something.
Okay.
So I'm nice and low for what I want to be for fight week.
And how long have you been in Florida?
Been there, I think, 3 weeks now.
3 weeks.
3 weeks, yeah.
Were you there with Shavkat as he was preparing for Ian?
Yeah. Interestingly enough.
Yeah. Weird?
Not really, because he's been there when I've been there before. He's just part of the team. You know, it's pretty normal. Great respect for him. You know, at the end of the day, like especially Killcliff, like the environment there is so good. Henry sets a great example. I've seen he was on your show.
Mm-hmm.
He sets a great example. It's very respectful. It's just like, you know, guys come in, they're doing the training, they're going to fight each other, and what? You know, like they have no worry about me like being friends with Ian and coming into the gym or anything like that. It's not I'm going to be saying like, oh, here, Shavkat's this or that. That's not how it goes.
Yeah, of course.
You know, it's just like at the end of the day, Shavkat's my teammate in a way through Killcliff, so you would never do something like that. But yeah.
What do you think of the fight?
Like incredible. Honestly,
did Ian do better than you thought or as you thought?
I actually picked Ian to win.
Okay.
Over 5. I thought that Ian was maybe just going to have that range game and just outpoint him. That was my biased pick, of course. What a fight. I've watched it like 3 times. Just such high-level MMA. It's one of these things where like the first round, one punch got the round for Shavkat, but that's at this high level of MMA, that's all it is at times. That may have won him that fight is just that first round punch. And then the grappling exchanges were incredible. Ian's adapting to the takedown that Shavkat was doing to then take us back in the 5th round. It was unbelievably high level MMA, like, so it's what I like to watch.
One of those fights where I felt Ian's stock went up despite not getting the nod, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot more people respect him and believe in him now. Some people, for whatever reason, I didn't change. I felt like he was the real deal for quite some time, but it felt like the fans, for whatever reason, weren't quite jumping on the bandwagon.
You got to put respect in his name. Like, I mean, after, you know, obviously him having the Buckley fight done and then going here, fight a week earlier somewhere else against Shavkat, you know, and he was like, yeah, 100%. Like, you got to put some respect in his name. Like, you know, people can say what they want about him, but in terms of his fighting abilities and his gameness to fight the best. I mean, whenever he started calling out Colby Covington, it was kind of like, oh, like, should you call out Colby Covington? He's a beast, like. And now you look how that's kind of played out. It just looks like Colby Covington's fucking shit scared of him. And that is the actual reality of what it is.
Has he said that he's going to help you out, or has there Ian?
No, there was an interview clip, I think, in his pre-fight stuff where someone was like, oh, would you do his corner? And he was like, yeah, absolutely. Paul done my corner before for the Cage Warriors World title, so if he wants me in, then I'll do it.
Okay.
You know?
But obviously that's not happening.
Well, I'll have my own team.
Yeah, of course.
In the corner.
He's not going to show up to kill Cliff.
But if he's out to Dubai, then, you know, that'd be awesome.
You know, this all kind of started with you saying, you know, Connor, come corner me. And I saw what you said to MMA Fighting earlier today, and I don't want to put you on the spot and ask you about everything that he's dealing with, but it sounds like that's not going to come to fruition, right? Him being part of this
at the end of the day, my team's always going to be in my actual corner. Do you know what I mean? Whether
Yeah.
or not there's a cage side thing going on, like my team's obviously, my 3 guys are going to be in there because I need them in there, you know. But yeah, that's where we're at with it.
And he won't be at the fight because
No idea.
no idea.
No idea. I've had no contact since the AJ fight, like since the tweets and stuff like that. There's been no contact.
There's a bare knuckle card on the same night, the one with Eddie Alvarez and Jeremy Stevens. But obviously all that came up before all this, and now who knows where he stands. So I appreciate your stance on that. I am wondering, though, if PFL starts their season in April, is the plan still for you to be a part of that? Because that was the original plan, right, when you signed. Are you looking to come back, win or lose, 3 months later? Or if you win, does that change things for you?
Well, if they'll let me go in there as a Bellator champ, then I don't.
You're
see,
okay with that?
I don't see why not. You know, I'm here for, as I say, big fights, big nights, and to make money. You know, and I would love to win $1 million plus my pay on top of that. I'm here to maximize my earnings. You know, so if they'll let me go in as the Bellator champ in the PFL season, then we'll talk to them and see if we can get that done.
Okay.
You know,
was any of that discussed beforehand? Like, hey, we want you to fight on this card, and then you're going to do this, or
no,
is
I
it?
think it was more a case of like, look, this Usman fight's there if you want it, and I'm like, of course. As I said, the big fights, the big nights. This Usman fight could be one of the biggest ones in the promotion's history. You know, if it's done right. So that's why.
Is it happening sooner than you thought? If we're being honest, when did you sign? You said it was April, right?
Or like
I had my
March.
last
Cage Warriors fight, I think mid-April, and signed a couple of weeks later.
Yeah.
End of April. Is it happening? No, this is honestly what I foreseen. So with the first time I came here, I was telling you about the plan, the master plan, and all. You were trying to get out the wee details.
And you said you would announce it afterwards. You didn't announce
and then
it.
I didn't. And you were giving me shit for not announcing. You were like, "What's going on? Why'd you not call him out?" I didn't call him out that night because he had got booked that week. But my plan was always to fight Usman. The first call I had with PFL was with Mike Hogan the day after I signed, and I says, I want to fight Usman Nurmagomedov ASAP. I said, that's the fight I want. I said, it's the biggest fight in the promotion, in my opinion. It's a perfect stylistic matchup for me. I want to fight him. So give me, I think I asked for like Patricky Pitbull for Dublin, and then give me Usman. That's why I said them on the phone. First call, before I'd even made my debut, before I fought Bobby King, before I'd done any of that. I've just come out of my Cage Warriors contract. No reason for me to be talking like that. Oh, I'm going to fight the champion right away. But that's what I've foreseen happening, and that's what I've really just brought it into reality here. You know, especially of course, doing that by beating AJ McKee. Yeah.
Can I ask? And I know these are quite. I've tried to get Don on the show. He said in January he'll come on, and I look forward to that. But like, it is very apparent that there's no real like Bellator branding on this. The poster, it's called, I think, Dubai Champion Series. Are they getting rid of Bellator to the best of your knowledge? What do you know about this?
I honestly don't know.
There's a poster right there.
You
see the
I'm fighting
belt.
for the Bellator belt, but yeah, Road to Dubai Champion Series. I'm not exactly sure of the details of how, if that's like a product that's going to run on. I'm not exactly sure, but I kind of like the idea, to be honest.
You like it, okay?
I like it because I mean, you look at the energy that the Middle East is bringing to combat sports now. They've just signed this new deal with Dubai. I was at the signing party, the conference, all of this with the Dubai Sports Council and the Economy of Tourism. So there's obviously an investment there, which is good for us fighters. You know, it's good for us. There's big events. This event in Coca-Cola Arena is going to be huge in Dubai. Like, this is the first global MMA show there. Myself and Usman. That's a pretty good way to, I guess, start this whole thing. And if that means big events and people getting big fights, big paychecks, then I think that's positive, you know?
For sure. What was that scene like when you were there?
What, in Dubai?
Yeah.
Crazy. Treated like royalty, you know. Shout out to PFL. I've just been treated so well since I've got here. Like, honestly, it's been so nice. That was cool, hanging out with Ngannou for the first time. We met very, very briefly at his pay-per-view that I fought on. But I got to spend a good bit of time with him and just have a crack and get to know him a little bit, have dinner with the PFL, all the PFL execs, get to know them a little bit more, meet some sheiks, meet some heads of tourism, all of this kind of stuff. Great experience. But definitely the best was hanging out with Ngannou. Like, he's a great guy, like, as you know.
Yeah. He's a legend.
He's a great guy.
So you were treated like a superstar.
Yeah.
Like one of their big faces, one of their big names.
Well, I am now.
I know. You're big news.
Yeah.
Was it just you, Francis, Usman? That's it? Like
Doumbé was there also.
Cedric Doumbé, yeah. He's a big-time star, too.
Big-time star, nice guy, good fun.
Yeah. There you are with the big man.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Who's the other gentleman?
That's my coach, Pat.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
He's a big boy.
Who?
Francis.
Pat's
Pat's a big boy too, but Francis is a big boy.
He's shaking his hand. You're like, my God. Like, hard man. I would not want to be getting punched by him. Like,
is there any part of you when you're like, again, a year ago, you were in Cage Warriors, your future's a little bit unknown, and you're like, holy crap, look at what's happened to me this year. As the year comes to an end, are you allowing yourself to reflect on this crazy journey, or because you have a fight coming up so soon, not time to smell the roses?
I've kind of been like intermittently smelling the roses, especially since AJ. There's just been moments where I'm like, a day goes by and all the amount of things I've done that day that are incredible, like these Dubai things and the dinners and this and that, where I'm just like, holy shit, this is my life now. Like, this is just my life now. It's unbelievable. Like, it's everything that I dreamed of coming up as a young fighter. I dreamed of being able to do things like this, to be a true professional athlete, to fight the best in the world, which now I've got the opportunity to do, to start setting my family up, to start setting myself up, which I'm starting to do as well. At only 27, you know, it's I'm literally living my dream. It's I feel very blessed, like, you know. So intermittently, I'm getting these times and these like pinch me moments, but most of the time, especially now, it's like it's really, really intense focus. Like I'm very, very much in the zone for this one. You know, this is a big one for me.
No kids, right?
No.
Soon, maybe? You want?
I would love kids, in the future, but married to the game right now.
Married to the game?
Yeah.
No misses, no nothing?
No misses right
now. Wow, you're fully focused.
Fully focused.
How does Claire feel about this?
She understands.
Okay.
She understands, you know. She gets the crack.
Claire being your mother?
Yes,
of course.
This is what I must do right now.
Okay.
You know. But yeah, it's good. Like, my life's... I'm having a good time.
She must be gutted that you're not coming home for Christmas.
She is.
I feel for her.
Yeah, she is.
Couldn't make a quick trip in and out.
Who, me?
Yeah.
All right. I just got that. Who, me? Like
who, me? You just did it. You just
play
did
that
it.
shit.
Yes,
play that
yes,
shit. Where are we at?
Come on, Frank. Where are you?
Who, me?
Yeah, there it is. There it
That's
is.
loud.
Yeah, it is.
That's loud. Nah, it's too much of a trek. At the end of the day, I'm going home not long after Christmas. I'm going home in the new year anyway. So go home, Belfast for a week, and then out to Dubai. So it'll be all good.
I always hear about, you know, I was speaking to Oban Elliott about this, like the boys come together, you guys drink before the holidays and all that. What is it? What is it? What is it?
Guinness on tap, brother.
Guinness, really?
Guinness on tap.
Is that it?
Guinness.
What would you do for one of those right now?
Oh, PFL are actually bringing me to some iconic Irish bar. I forget the name of it. It slipped my mind. In Boston tomorrow to like pour Guinness and things like that. So I'm just going to be like,
will you drink it?
Nah.
Not even one?
Nah, not drink it.
Not a sip?
Not a sip. No, well, maybe a wee bit of the cream at the top, you know what I mean? Wet the lips a wee bit, you know what I'm saying? But that's one of the best things about Christmas, especially being in Ireland, is pints of Guinness with the boys. Like,
the boys sitting around.
But what do you do? What do you do? The sacrifices must be made,
Of course, and it'll be worth it afterwards.
Yeah.
With that in mind, I just wanted to play a quick game with you, if I could.
Go, hit me.
Called Beautiful or Poor. There it is. Beautiful or poor with Paul Hughes. Okay, so I keep hearing that there's like a proper way.
Know what you're on about there for a second. Like,
there's a proper way to pour.
They're going to make me rate like people.
No.
Bruv, come
there's
on.
a proper way to pour, right? The Guinness, and then there's a shit way to pour too. So I want to
gonna show me a bunch of shit Guinness because I'm gonna get really annoyed.
No, I don't know. The guys didn't tell me what it is. So let's see. What do we have here, guys? First one. What is that?
Can I curse in this eye?
Yeah, you can curse away. What is that?
Clean off of that there.
It's shit.
A recording glass. It must be in a Guinness glass.
Yeah, what is that? What is that? Record.
Someone's took a big shit inside a glass. That's what it is. In a recording glass.
What is a recorder leg? What is that?
It's like a cider. It's a bullshit cider. Guinness has to be in a Guinness glass.
Oh, this is nice music.
Give me the next one.
Look at the music here. It's like we're in the local pub right now. Sort of? Close enough.
Yeah,
anyway,
perfect.
so this is shite. What is this?
This is perfection.
Why is it perfect?
This is 10 out of 10 because it's the percentage of dome to Guinness. You know, this is a perfect percentage where you're getting a full dome, but it's also coming just over the top. So you can see the creaminess at the top of this. That's how you know it's good.
I'm getting chills right now.
Exactly. That's how you know.
What's
Because
the
that's
dome?
why it's
The
so
dome
good in Ireland.
Yeah.
Because that's where we make it. That's where it's the creamiest. So you can see how much, that's like a couple of centimeters over the brim of the glass of cream. That's when you just know, here, boys, this is a good one.
This is a good one.
You know.
And by the way, the last one, like scale of 1 to 10, what are you giving it?
This one?
No, the last one. The
0.3.
0.3. What's this?
This is a 9.5. In fact, I don't know how it gets better.
You can beat it. Wow.
Yeah.
That's high. Okay, what else we have? What else we have?
Are we?
Is that a milkshake?
Do you know what's funny? There's a page on Twitter and like Instagram and stuff. It's called Shit London Guinness.
We got,
you know it?
Yeah, we got these from there. Yes. Shout out to Shit London.
Shout out to Shit London Guinness.
What is this? What's going on here? How is that even possible?
An Irishman would throw that back in your face in the bar.
You wouldn't even drink it.
No.
Does it change the
it wouldn't
taste?
even be a question.
Does it change the taste?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, it does.
How?
It does. Because of the shape of the glass, that's how it's intended to be poured. It sets correctly. You know, and the glass makes a difference to that.
Really?
This is like a normal like American like pitcher kind of glass. You know, this
and
is
also,
trash.
do you have to do multiple pours? Isn't it like you do it once?
You do the first pour and you hit at 45-degree angle until it comes to about maybe 3/4 full or so. Then you let it sit till all of it settles till it's plain black again. You start to see the dome, and then you top it up. But rather than pull it down with, I think it's like nitrogen or whatever, you push it so there's no nitrogen.
Wow.
At least to my understanding. I should know this. I worked in a bar for like 8 years.
Oh my gosh.
I should know
You've
this.
done this 1,000 times.
A million times. And then you pour it just so you can, if it's creamy enough, then you'll get a bit of dome at the top of it.
Okay. This is real science.
It's a science.
Okay, what else? What else? We have a couple more. What about that?
Terrible. Get it out of here.
They're taking the piss back there with
They're
this.
taking the piss.
I mean, golly, what is this? Okay, what about that? What about that?
Christmas tree, like this is what I'm sacrificing, Ariel. This is what I'm
sacrificing in a nutshell.
Here. Do you know
Sitting
what I mean?
around, what are you watching? What's on the telly as you're watching this?
Christmas movies, you gotta have a bit of Home Alone or something on there, a bit of Elf.
At the pub?
You know.
No sports?
Well, no, not at the pub, maybe.
Hurling, GA?
You'll have a bit of Gaelic or hurling on.
What about this?
And
you
got
this?
the hurling ball.
Yeah.
So whenever I was walking in here, can I?
Yeah, sure, go ahead. That was given to me in Ireland.
I know. What a story.
Yeah.
You know, I love how someone just came up and went, here, take that there, will you?
Yeah.
And then you've brought it home in your bag and set it here.
I loved it.
Whenever I seen this on your show, the first time I couldn't believe that you had got this. I thought, maybe Pete Carroll made you put it there.
No.
You put it there yourself.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, when I was there for the Katie Taylor fight.
Yeah.
It really meant a lot to me.
It's unbelievable.
That's hurling or?
This is hurling.
Okay.
So we play with a stick, we hit this. But whenever I walked in here, I looked at the screen and when you were on air and I couldn't see it. So I thought you'd get rid of it.
Oh, no, of course.
So I was like, I need to bring that up as soon as I get in.
No.
And then I seen it whenever I come in, so I'll set it back then.
All right, what else we got? We got a couple more. I like this
that's
insight.
Some crack.
How's that?
That's nice, yeah. That's nice. You can see a bit of dome weeds there at the top. I would like, personally, a little bit more cream on that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe like a 7.
I would give it an 8. I mean, it still looks pretty good to me.
All right, what else? Stop it with it. How could that be? Even I know.
This is just disrespect to a culture. This is the ultimate
You would
disrespect.
literally say, thanks, but no thanks.
You would get knocked out for that. Like, that's
beautiful.
So this is what people refer to as the shtick.
Oh, okay. What is that? What is that?
Sticking to the glass.
Oh, that's good.
That's a good sign.
Okay.
You know, whether or not this is all a complete pile of balls that I'm saying to you, I love it. But we just romanticize the fuck out of it. You know, looks alright.
Not great.
All right. Not the best. You know, prefer the old glasses. See how this got like a design on it. We don't really like this.
You don't like that?
We don't really like this in Ireland.
Why is that?
These are like newer glasses. They got rid of them. They just want the plain, just straight glass.
Is it like this? Is it like a little bit of a curve?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
some crack here today.
Yeah, that was good fun.
Crack, yeah.
Would you believe that every time I have a Guinness, my favorite drink, by the way,
is it?
Always split the G. I mean, I split the G like a G.
You see, this whole split the G, this is when you're getting into some debates now in Ireland.
People don't like it.
Because people say, you know, if you're a real Guinness drinker, you've been on the Guinness for many years, split the G is like a new phenomenon. It's like a TikTok thing.
So
you know, I know you're a big TikTok, like new age kind of
so
guy.
I just exposed myself.
You're a split the G kind of guy. Like,
no. I don't want that. Really, I was trying to be cool by saying that.
Well, look, here, I'm telling you the culture, Ariel.
Yeah.
You know, you would probably, if you're a real Guinness guy, you say, fucking split the G's, pile of balls.
Okay.
Just say, that's a pile of TikTok shit.
You know, it's funny to say because Pete always tries to tout the fact that he splits the G, but that's because he's a wanker.
He's a wanker, exactly. A wanker. And Pete, like, me and Eric were talking about this before we come in here. I think he's, like, give you the impression that he's from, like he's like a kind of street guy, you know, grew up in Blanche. Blanche is, like, he lives in basically a mansion.
What?
Just outside of Blanche.
He's a fake tough guy.
He's a fake tough guy. There's like a posh part not too far away from it. He lives in a mansion there.
He's always told us it's like the roughest part of town.
He's like, oh, here, I love tracksuits and all.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
That's the tracksuit culture, street culture and all. This is why I actually wore my tracksuit today.
I love that.
See, I thought Eric and Connor were going to be wearing theirs, but...
So he's a Fugazi tough guy. Really? Do people know this? Is this a thing? Does he not have the street cred that he thinks he has?
I don't know what he thinks he has, to be honest. I don't know what his crack is, Ariel. Bit of a fraud.
Fraud. By the way, you mentioned the tracksuits. Last week on the show we had... he always talks about St. Stephen's Day.
Yeah, Boxing Day or
St.
Stephen's Day.
The tracksuit thing? You don't do it?
Nah.
Fugazis do that.
So I think the tracksuit thing is more of like a city thing, you know? So like Belfast, like people who grew up in Belfast, they would do it. Like Dublin, where I'm from, countryside, it wouldn't be a thing. We'd be more like GA gear for Christmas, you know what I mean?
Yeah, these are the boys. Yeah. Last week we had Rick and GC. Can you rate them? They were feeling hard. What'd you think? You even responded.
I know, here, I had to.
Fire trackies, I must say.
They're nice. They're nice. I prefer the black one. I prefer Eric's.
Okay.
No disrespect.
No. You got to zip it up all the way or no?
Yeah, if you're going full tracky, you don't want to go all the way up. You know, I've got a hoodie on.
Yeah,
so
it's tough. It's tough.
It's cold out in these streets and in New
yeah,
York, you know.
But you respect that.
Fire fits.
You liked it.
Yeah.
What about this one? That's Pizza.
That's
tough. It's tough.
It's a hard watch.
What about this? Well, he thinks he's hard right here with Reg.
The dog's pretty tough.
Yeah.
The dog adds
but the rest,
definitely some
like,
toughness
he thinks
levels
he's tough
there.
here. He's always told me he's from like the hardest part of town.
How big does that living room look?
Yeah, it is mansion-like.
One of many living rooms.
One of many.
One of many.
What about this one?
Oh, he's doing the Drake.
Yeah, all black.
That's the other living room.
That's the other living room. Multiple trees as well.
Unbelievable, this guy.
What about this one?
Fraud.
It's not. It's a work in progress.
It's all right.
But overall, not impressed.
That's not a tracksuit. I mean, that's just.
Yeah. What is that?
Yeah.
So overall, not impressed.
Got some work to do. You know.
PT, what do you think of all of this?
Oh, he's in. Oh, he's got to back himself.
What do you think of all of this shit talking?
I thought I heard some.
PT, what do you think of all this shit talking?
I was waiting for a showdown.
I'm a nice guy. He's a diva. Since day one, a fucking diva, Paul Hughes. That's what he said. He's not coming back to Ireland. He's not allowed back in Ireland. That's what the problem is.
What are you on about?
He's just trying to get home for Christmas, and people are like, "We don't want you here, mate. You stay over there with your Americans. You're American to us now, Paul Hughes." I hate.
PT, a lot of accusations here. First, when he started talking about the rough part of town or the supposed rough part of town that you're from, I was like, oh my God, I pray that PT is listening to this right now.
I did. It was very...
Your thoughts, look, your retort.
I just hope he's not driving through Blanche anytime soon after these accusations, these scurrilous accusations that Paul Hughes has made. But I enjoyed the tracksuit. I enjoyed the Blanche slander a lot as well. I'm happy to put out that Blanche is like the poshest part of Dublin, if you'll have it. Like, I want to raise the property here. As you said, I've got a massive mansion here. I wouldn't mind that going for like 2 million or so, Paul. What you reckon? Do you want to buy a house?
Bit of a change in attitude.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
One time, Ariel rang me and a lad got shot outside my apartment while he's on the phone.
That's pretty funny.
What about this little number that you've got on here, PT?
That's nice.
Like this.
What is that, Macho Man? Oh, wow. With Hogan, too. I love it.
Pretty cool.
I was going to get one with Ian Gary and Paul Hughes, and I had Ian done the trek out to Dubai, but apparently that's not to be, Paul.
Wow.
Well, it's not too late. I can convince him. But you have to wear it
with
on
all the money you're on, you should be
Christmas.
playing the flights. You should be, first class flights, put them up in a 5-star hotel. I think that's what you should do.
Yeah, well, here, we'll see the crack. If you get the Christmas jumper made, I'll consider it,
I will. I'll get it for next year if he's there.
This is great. This is some crack. So if you ever just abuse PC in your show, can he just go press a button and go?
He just pops in.
A wee second.
Yeah.
What the fuck's going on?
This happened with someone else. Oh, Tom Aspinall was talking about you, and then he just popped in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Tom Aspinall
I like
said
that.
That's
That's
a lovely guy.
He's just ready whenever. By the way, PT, you were the one who told me that Boojum was some kind of like shite Chipotle, right?
This is not what I said. Boojum is in Blanche as well.
Hold on a wee second here. What did you say about Boojum?
I didn't say that at all. I said it was a very nice. It's not. I said probably not up to US standards, but it's the best one we have in Ireland.
What do you mean US standards? US standards are way below Irish produce. Come on.
Burritos?
Yes. Boojum burritos.
Come on, mate. Our Mexican populace really isn't all there here. Not in Blanchardstown anyway. I don't know about Belfast, but I think you've got. It is the best one in Ireland though, by a long shot.
Okay, well that's something.
I'm really disappointed.
There's one in Blanche.
I'm really disappointed you said that.
Yeah, who's turned on who?
I mean, this guy, Hughes. I mean, I'm trying to get a bit of crack here, but he's been in America too long. He doesn't understand it anymore. Look, why aren't you going home to your
That
man
is
Christmas?
true, though.
Yeah, he wants to know. Why aren't you going home?
Why aren't I going home?
Claire Hughes is a saint, and she deserves her little
Would you
angel
stop
to be home.
calling my mum? This is getting out of hand, Ariel. This
Claire
guy
Hughes
has one
deserves her
phone
son
call
to
with
be at
my
home.
mother for an interview, and he's texting her, "Well done, Claire. You must be the proudest mother and all of it."
Wow,
Right.
Pete.
He's sliding in my ma's DMs. He's sliding in my ma's DMs, this guy.
She's not the first, and she won't be the last.
Look, she's a very beautiful woman, so understandable.
She's a legend. I can't believe you guys are like the closest family in Irish MMA. I can't believe you're not going home. I'm a bit upset.
Wow, he's
I don't
giving
think
you guilt.
I know.
hammered home this point enough.
Here, stop trying to guilt me. I feel guilty enough, brother. You know?
They don't get it in America. It's a lot. I feel like because they have Thanksgiving, they have like a diet Christmas in America. Like our Christmas is hard hitting. It's like a 3-week affair.
People have been saying to me, "Oh, do you celebrate Christmas like much?" And I'm like, it's the biggest time of the year.
Yeah, it's the
It's the
pinnacle.
biggest time of the year.
PT told me he was out Christmas shopping today. He almost got run over by a few people. It was
Oh, yeah?
madness there in the center of town. Was it not, PT?
He nearly
was
got
in
hit by a
Blanche
couple
Centre.
of Rolls Royces, couple of friggin' G-Wagons walking
Exactly,
down
man.
his street. That's
It's
what it
the
was.
G-Wagon is so wide. It's hard to get out of them spots. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's bulletproof as well, just in case. So, I mean, that adds like an extra inch of thickness. But, I mean, what about that torture you being showed all them points, Paul? I know you love.
Yeah, I
an
wonder
L
who brought
point
that to
Claire.
their table.
That was actually me. That was actually
it
me.
was?
Yeah, it was 100% me. Yeah.
Well, I knew the boojum was obviously you, so I appreciate that. But if I don't get a boojum deal here, if I don't get a boojum black card, I'm just gonna have to. I don't know what I'll do with myself, to be honest. I'll have to probably pack in fighting, to be honest, because
We're going to work on it. We're going to get Tim on the job.
Tim, we'll get
Yo,
Tim
you need to
going.
go. You need to go to the Dead Rabbit. The lads brought me to the
Great
Dead
spot.
Rabbit. It's just around the corner.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
You know about
We've
it.
moved
Savagery.
offices since then, PC.
Yeah, we've moved offices.
Remember
since
that
then.
big thing that Ariel done with
Yeah.
Yahoo?
Yeah, come on. Paul knows more about it than you, PT, for fuck's sake. It's in a completely different part of town.
No, I just
Has he not
assumed
been
it's using the
since?
same.
He has
It
not been.
looks so
PT,
similar. It
fuck's
looks
sake.
exactly the same. You know what I mean? So
no, thank
thought
you.
it was
That.
the same.
Thank you, that PT. We'll talk to you in a few minutes. All right,
Right,
we'll get
PT.
to you afterwards. For now, though, Paul,
me, some
looking
crack.
forward to it. This was good fun.
Oh, great crack, bro. Great
Yes,
crack.
always.
Great to be here.
January 25th.
Yeah.
By the way, have they announced where it's going to air?
I don't know. I'm assuming it's ESPN or Zone or whatever.
All right, well, we'll find out. Because on the press release and all that, it wasn't there. And usually the Bellator fights are on Max here
Yeah.
in the United States. It doesn't mention it, but maybe we'll find out.
I'm not too sure, to be honest.
All right, but we're going to be able to watch it, and it's January 25th, and it's at the Coca-Cola Arena in Dubai, and it's the biggest fight of your life against arguably the number one pound-for-pound guy in Bellator and the PFL. You can make a very strong case. So good luck to you, my man.
Yeah, appreciate it, brother. Great to be here. Always an honor to be on here.
Absolutely, and it's a massive week for the Nurmagomedov family because they've got Umar and they've got what do they got? They got Umar, and then they have Islam in the main, and then a week later they've got the other Umar and Islam, and then Usman the following week.
Yeah.
You get the point.
I got it.
Anyway, last week we had Armin Tsarukyan on the program to talk about that fight as we say goodbye to Paul Hughes. We'll play that interview, and then we'll be back with Kaikar France. You'll recall this time last year, my prediction was by the end of 2024, I predicted on the Ringer MMA show that Armin Tsarukyan would be UFC lightweight champion. It almost came to fruition, but the fight didn't happen. I might be a few weeks late. We'll see what happens. For now, let's say hello to the pride of Armenia, the great Armin Tsarukyan. Great to talk to him again. Hello, Armin. How are you? Can you hear me, Armin? You hear me? He doesn't hear me.
1 second.
Okay. He saw me waving, though. We'll get to Armin in a moment. And he, of course, is fighting in the main event against...
I'm here.
Oh, Armin, you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, hello. How are you?
Hello, how are you?
I'm great. It's great to have you back on. Thank you for coming on, Armin. I don't know if you heard me before, but I was saying that at the beginning of the year, and I've told you this before, my bold prediction was that you would be lightweight champion by the end of this year, but we're a couple weeks off because the fight is happening January 18th. We thought it was going to happen in October. And so can I ask, were you disappointed? Were you ready for October and then disappointed that you had to wait a few more months?
I was ready for October, and then they said me December 7, and then they moved to January. For me, it's okay. So I keep learning, keep getting better, and I'm still young and I got time. So happy that it's gonna be in January 18. It's pretty soon.
Yes, and also as Islam said, there's a massive Armenian population in Los Angeles. Obviously, he's a very big star, and he's been champion now for a bit. Do you think you will actually be the bigger fan favorite in LA more so than him?
Oh, for sure. Like 90% is gonna be my fans.
Are you surprised that he agreed to it because of that? That he would agree to it on this day?
I was surprised because it's not his territory, and I thought he wants to maybe fight in Saudi Arabia or Dubai or somewhere else, but not in California, because California is an Armenian town, you know.
Mm-hmm. By the way, you mentioned December 7th. Why didn't it happen on December 7th?
He got injured, so he couldn't fight in December 7th.
Okay. We had heard after what happened at 300 that you were going to film like a video, a PSA, and they would allow you to then fight if you filmed it. But then it got moved, and we thought, is he still going to film the PSA? There were a lot of people who wanted to see this video. Did you ever film the video?
Yeah, I trained in my home.
You did it in your home?
Yeah, by myself on my phone.
How long is it?
A couple minutes.
And what did you have to say?
Don't show me middle finger. I'm gonna break it again. No, I'm kidding.
But did you have to film something and send it to them?
No.
Okay, it's over.
I haven't done it.
Oh, you haven't? But you still are going to?
I don't know. If they want me, I will do it.
Okay. So the fight gets signed, and then we get this press conference on Friday, and we just had Merab on. What did you think about the press conference?
So press conference was fun. I was laughing, and just for me it was fun press conference between Merab and Omar. So we just was listening how they talk. So
it was very, you could say, emotional, right? There was a lot of tension, but it seems to me that between you and Islam, there's, for the most part, a lot of respect. Would you say that's accurate?
Yeah, of course. I don't have something to say him. I just want to get his belt, and for me, it's like a sport, and we don't argue or we don't have some drama, and just we want to fight and to see who is the best in lightweight division.
He did say that he thinks that you're the most deserving, but that, maybe since your first fight in 2019, there isn't much that has changed about you. Do you agree with that assessment? Do you think you haven't evolved as much as him? And if not, what is your response to that?
I feel like I'm completely different fighter right now, and now I have everything to beat him.
What about him? Do you think he has changed a lot since your first fight?
Yeah, for sure, he has changed a lot. He improved his striking, his clinch, and his elbows, knees. So he's good on my type. But like wrestling skills, it's the same.
Mm-hmm. Will you watch that first fight a lot in preparation for this one? I know it's just a month away now, essentially, but I'm just wondering if you will watch it a lot because you can get some sort of sense of what happened in that first one.
Of course, I watched a couple times, but like I already know how should I fight. So it's a couple of mistakes I did that fight. So
can I ask which ones? What are the mistakes?
Yeah, I spent a lot of energy when I wanted to take him down, so I shouldn't, because he defends very well. He defended very well, and I should like mix striking with wrestling. So I should more strike that day than wrestle.
Okay. I did see this mini documentary that was put out on YouTube, and you said that you have some tricks, some surprises, right, for the fight. And I know you were asked about the tricks at the press conference, and you said, well, why am I going to tell you? It's not a surprise if I tell you, right? But, well, this isn't the press conference now, so no one's really watching. What are you referring to with the tricks and the surprises?
Should I tell you?
Yeah. No one's watching.
Yeah. I don't know.
Is there really something?
It was a joke.
Oh, was it? Nah, I don't believe that. This is mind games.
It was a joke, and everybody think what I'm preparing for that.
And now everyone's wondering.
Yeah.
So it's working.
That's true. People like when you talk a lot, so you can say whatever you want.
Is there like an alliance between you and Merab? Because it's like Islam and Umar, they're same team, they're family, whatever. So do you feel like it's you and Merab against Islam and Umar?
For sure.
You feel that way?
Yeah, I feel like me and Merab, we're together, and we gotta beat them. Because he's Georgian, I'm Armenian. I was born in Georgia, and we are close, and so we know each other very well. We trained, so hopefully that night we're gonna celebrate with Armenian and Georgian dance.
Oh, nice. Is there an Armenian dance? I've seen the Georgian dance. I've never seen the Armenian.
It's almost same.
Okay. So it's almost like Team Georgia versus Team Dagestan.
Yeah, we have a same similar culture, and so it's almost same Armenian and Georgian,
Do you spend time there in Georgia?
Of course, all my relatives live there, and I was born there. I go there more often than in Armenia.
Oh wow! Okay, you spend more time in Georgia than Armenia.
Yeah, right now, yes, because my relatives live there. So my uncles, my cousins, and I go there 3-4 times a year to see them.
But now you're in Florida, right?
Yeah, I just came to Florida a couple of days ago, and started my training camp.
I did.
I started in Russia.
Okay.
Papa, please.
What's happening? Someone's talking?
No, my chef is making noise.
Oh, you have a chef?
Yeah.
I saw you had a massive meal of chicken, and I think you're wearing the hat. Is it the hat from the restaurant that you're wearing right now?
Yeah.
Are they sponsoring you?
Not yet. I'm trying to get a contract from them.
They should. Look at this meal, Dave's Hot Chicken.
Yeah, I have like 6 million views. They gotta send me a good contract.
How much of that did you actually eat? All right, back on the program, and the Dave's Hot Chicken thing always cracks me up. That was good stuff with Armin. You can see that interview on our YouTube channel. And thank you very much to Paul Hughes for stopping by as well. Great stuff from him. Should I move this microphone here because we're going to go to the monitor, or should I not move it?
We'll take care of that. You just...
Or do you want to go... Nah, let me just do it. Come on, we workshop things here. I don't need Brad.
Please don't get out of the chair.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh.
I'm just trying to fill the air while you're doing this.
Yeah, thanks, Frank. No, listen. I could roll up my sleeves. I could get things done.
Right. Is your back okay? Are you all right? I think you broke a sweat.
I'm going to bill it, union hours.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you to Paul. Great stuff from him. January 25th, looking forward to it. On the Nose coming up in about 30 minutes' time. But in a matter of seconds, unless he is ready to go, or do we need a minute? All right, we're going to be joined by... one of the very best flyweights in the world. In fact, he may be next. He may be next for Alex Pantoja. He may be the next man to fight for the UFC flyweight title. He is coming off a fantastic win over Steve Usyk back in August. We didn't get a chance to talk to him afterwards. That was during the hiatus. But now here he is, the pride of New Zealand, the one and only Kai France, kind enough to join us on a Thursday morning, a beautiful Thursday morning in New Zealand. Kai, great to see you, my friend. How are you?
Yep, kia ora, bro. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. So we've been talking about you a lot over the last 2 weeks or so. The Pantoja win, and then of course Manel Kape mentioning you as well this past weekend. So I figured let's check in with the great Kai France and see where he's at. First things first, can I ask, what did you think of Alex Pantoja's victory a little over a week ago against Kaya Sakura?
Yeah, I thought it was a good fight. I actually didn't watch it live. I was on a holiday in Tahiti with my family, so I was at the beach when the fight was on. I saw the highlights. Obviously saw the result. Saw the finish, and hey, this is everything that I said. They got the wrong Kai.
Yeah.
It's the thing about fighting in the UFC. You got to do it first before you can really show your true potential and give your best performance. The bright lights, the pressure, all of that. You have to do it before you're into a title fight. It's too much to ask. So I knew that was going to play out. I had Pantoja winning before the fight, and I didn't realize he was going to get a submission. I thought he was going to grind out a decision. But yeah, Kai's obviously good. He comes from being a world champion in Japan and Ryzen, and he's fought some great guys and beaten them by devastating knockouts. So no joke. He's definitely someone to watch out for. But I feel like it was too soon for him to get given a title shot. So Pantoja did well. He's a great champion. His biggest strength is his resilience, and he can turn a fight into an ugly brawl, and that's where he thrives. And he always finds a way. So he's done really well as a champion. So nothing but respect. But now and the way this flyweight division's panning out, there's only one fight that makes sense, and that's me.
Before they went with Sakura and after your win over Steve Usyk, was there any serious talk about you fighting Pantoja next?
I think that fight had already been booked even before me and Steve had fought. So I guess to freshen up the flyweight division, that was already something that the UFC was planning. So regardless of the outcome of me and Steve, that was already in plan. So hey, Steve was in front of me when I got asked to fight him. I wanted to fight the guy that just fought for the belt, and that was Steve. And he obviously went the distance with Pantoja, did really well. And then for me to take him out in the first round, remind everyone who I am and what I can do in this flyweight division, just shows that I'm dangerous for anyone. Everyone counts me out all the time. Nothing I'm not used to, but I thrive in that. I thrive in people proving people wrong and proving myself right. And yeah, that's where we're at right now. I'm in a great place. My career is taking a turn where I had a few injuries, had a few setbacks, but I just had to sit with it. I think that's a big problem with and today people force things. People want to get back to it straight away, and there's signs that are saying let's just take our time. And taking a year off and then coming back and then making it look easy. That's my job, and to take out Steve in his hometown, landing a left hand. People think I just have a right hand. So just putting myself back in the best position possible, and that's title contention. So the way this flyweight division is working, Moreno's fought Pantoja 3 times. He's lost all 3 times. Royval's lost to Pantoja twice, and Amir, the only guy in front of me, he lost to Moreno and was just outclassed. And everyone knows that I won that fight against Amir, but the judges thought otherwise. But hey, I can only focus on what's in front of me, and that's what I've always done. So I guess in that top 5, it only leaves me at number 4 that hasn't fought Pantoja in the UFC. We're only fought on the Ultimate Fighter. This was 8 years ago, 2016. It was only 2 rounds. We had to cut weight weekend for 7 weeks, so couldn't really show my full potential. But a lot has happened since then. He's become the world champion. He's done really well in his career, and I've been right behind him. I bring something different to this flyweight division, which is I can finish the fight in any round by knockout, and everyone knows it. And I've got the best takedown defense in the UFC flyweight division, and that's a fact. So you put me in front of Pantoja, he's going to find it hard to take me down. Even if he gets my back, I've shown it against Askar Askarov, who couldn't take me down and he couldn't submit me. I did it against Rogerio Bontorin, who tried to choke me out, and I ended up knocking him out in the first round. So these guys can jump on my back. They can try cling on. I'll find a way. I'll get out of it. I'll be calm in the chaos, and then I'll find the target and I'll put them out. So I think in my career right now, you're really starting to see me put that together, and it's exciting.
Considering you're so close, when you heard him call out Demetrius Johnson, what did you think?
Just let the bro retire.
Yeah.
You know, he's done his time. He's done everything in the sport. So there's nothing that is going to bring him back. Money, legacy, all of that. He's done enough. And DJ's one of the GOATs in the UFC and mixed martial arts. So let the man retire and let this division play out how it should be. You know, we're climbing these rankings for a reason. And if we're not using that to, you know, further the flyweight division, then you know, the rankings don't really mean much if we're just going to pull out guys from retirement. You know, I've seen the Henry Cejudo's been talking about it, coming back to flyweight. He hasn't made flyweight in a long time, and he's coming off losses. Same as Davison Figueiredo, he's coming off a loss against Peter Yan. They're fighting at bantamweight, so let them fight at bantamweight, and let the guys that are actually fighting in flyweight, you know, sort it out, sort things out. You know, I know I've had losses against a few guys in that top 5, but it's just panned out in my favor. You know, I'm the only guy that hasn't fought Pantoja in the Ultimate Fighter, and it's the only fight that makes sense. So I know Pantoja's been talking about it. He's been saying it's the only fight that he feels like makes sense as well. And yeah, I know the UFC are all about, you know, stories, and what better story? 8 years ago, we fought on the Ultimate Fighter. Now we're going to do it again. He can call whenever that is. I heard he was talking about April and potentially his hometown or where his gym is from in Miami. So if that's the case, let's do it. Let's do it in Miami in April.
Yeah, he was on our show last week, and he said that he thought that of all the options out there, if DJ is in fact retired and Figueiredo's a 135-pounder and he had trouble making 125, that of the active flyweights, you're the one that makes the most sense. Your reaction when you heard that, were you surprised that he said that, or did you think like, nah, this is the kind of guy that he is, and of course he's going to say this?
Yeah, no, but me and Pantoja have always had a good relationship. You know, every time I fought on the same cards, I always show respect, and there's no bad blood. You know, it's not like me and Manel that, you know, this guy just loves saying my name and loves to talk, but doesn't like to back it up. You know, he has one good fight in a few years, and he thinks he can coast off that. It's different energy when you have when you know someone that is a down to earth, grounded, you know, and just you can see right through them. That's what Pantoja is. So I know he's the man of his word, and if he's going to say the guy's the next guy, then hey, let's do it. It's perfect time for me, especially right now. That's what's going on in the world, what's going on in my country in New Zealand, Aotearoa New Zealand. It's no better time now than for especially a Indigenous person that's Māori to be fighting for a world title. And I'm channeling all that energy when I fight next for the belt.
Can you explain to those that may not know what is going on in your corner of the world?
It's just a bit of politics with our government, and a lot of stuff that's going on is, I guess, yeah. There's a lot that goes into this, but I guess being Indigenous and being Māori, there's been a massive hikois going on, which are massive like marches that have been going around the country to show their support for, sticking up for, I guess, who was here first in Aotearoa New Zealand, and that was Māori, and then we were colonized by the English, and there's a lot of, there was a treaty that was signed back in the day, which was the English version and the Māori version, so there's been a lot of stuff that's been lost in translation, stuff that doesn't make sense in the English version that was put in the Māori version. And there's just stuff that has taken years, hundreds of years to kind of figure out what's equal, I guess. And so, just knowing that where we come from and who we're representing, I just know that there's no better time now than to represent my people, and let everyone know where we're from and what we're about, and just tapping into that.
Yeah, and to fly the flag and represent, much respect for that. And so have you heard from the UFC and maybe your management as well? Like, have you guys heard, okay, we're going to go in the direction of you versus Pantoja? Any word?
Nothing's final, but
Yeah.
there are, I guess, signs that are saying that it's looking likely, but it's never done until it's on paper. So for me, I'm just focusing on training and you're putting my best foot forward. You can see I'm in Warriors gear. That's the rugby team I coach for wrestling.
Yes.
So we're in
the
our
NZ
we're
Warriors,
in our
right?
preseason at the the Warriors. Yeah. We're in our preseason at the moment. So it's our last day today. That's why I've got a bucket hat on. We've just finished running sand dunes. So there's a notorious hill in Auckland. It's at Bethel's Lake, where we pretty much run up this massive sand dune and do like hill sprints. So we've been doing that for the last 2 hours this morning. I jump in with the team and just be of service to the team, and it's cool not being the person center of attention. I'm just there to support, and there's a mutual respect there because I'll jump in the trenches as well. So that's what I've been doing this morning. So I've been training, just getting a bit of variety in my trainings, and finishing the year off. So we come back next year. The Warriors have their first game in Las Vegas.
Wow.
So the NRL, which is the competition that the Warriors play in, is playing in Las Vegas at the Raiders Stadium March 1st. So the boys having a massive preseason to get ready for that. They're playing the Canberra Raiders, which is an Aussie team, at the Raiders Stadium, and I should be over there for the game, watching. So that'll be pretty cool to see rugby league playing in Las Vegas in America. Getting a new fan base, trying to educate these Americans on what a tough sport is with no pads, no helmets. That's what rugby league is. It's all about a bit of strategy and just all toughness. So it's an 80-minute game. It's like rugby without the scrums and the stoppages. And you get 6 tackles, and then you can kick the ball on the last, and you got to try to work to get a try. So people that don't know rugby league, it's a physical game, and there's a lot of wrestling involved. That's why they brought me in to kind of help whatever that looks like in technique, and the mindset of fighting. And who better than the flyweight that's got the best takedown defense in the division?
I love it. So are you a part of the staff, or they bring you in just for a few days to help the guys out?
No, I'm a part of the staff.
I love it.
This is a career after fighting. So I'm in it while I'm in my career, just navigating around my own trainings. But that's what I love about this is I'm not just talking about it. I'm doing it myself, talking about, not hiding behind the team, being accountable. We have this saying, which is about a waka, which is a canoe. We all have an oar. We all have a part to play, and we have to be in sync. One heartbeat, one team. So, just being of service and that's fulfilling, fills up my cup. Being in this space, and it's only going to help me when I'm in my normal setting, fighting at CKB and training out of our gym.
Does this have anything to do with the 5 a.m. club? Like, are you starting your day at 5 a.m. and then you're going to this training and then you're doing your MMA training? That's an insane day.
Yeah, bit of both. Some days I'll train at 5 myself, and then I'll train the boys at 6:30.
Wow.
Straight to the gym, doing their wrestling. So I'll train 2 groups back to back. Not doing the full training, maybe jumping in halfway through or when I'm needed, and then and then after that go to my own trainings in the afternoon. So just navigating around all of that, that's what I love to do. If I'm still young and still active, why not? And like I said before, this is a career after fighting where I can be a part of a team and just showcase what we can do in martial arts to transfer to rugby league and all the gems that come with high performance sport. And I'm learning on the job, which is awesome. Webby, our coach, the team coach, has really trusted in me to get the best out of the boys. And the best way to do that is to get the buy-in, where if they're going to do conditioning and sprints and all that running training, I'll jump in as well. So when we're on the mats doing the wrestling, there's that mutual respect there where I'm in the trenches, whatever the training is. So come game day, we can really give our best. And, when I go out and fight, the boys are right behind me. I've got a whole club behind me that are, just supporting me on my journey. And I do the same for them when they go out and play. So it's a pretty cool collab, and it's more like family.
By the way, speaking of your great culture, did your partner recently graduate and receive a diploma, and then there was a ceremony that you were involved in to honor? I might be screwing this up, so I apologize.
No,
But
no, you're right there. Yep, that's what happened. So my wife, Sade, she graduated her Te Reo course, which is a full year full immersion Te Reo course, which is 9 to 5. So 9 to 3, Monday to Friday for a whole year. And you can only speak Māori, so no English, and from not knowing pretty much at all to holding a full 1 hour conversation or speech by the end of it. So massive milestone for her and for our whānau. You know, this is knowledge that she's feeding to our kids, and they're going to be, you know, fully immersed growing up in Te Reo Māori. And just knowing who they are, I guess, being connected to your culture and where you come from keeps you grounded and allows you to make sense of the world, and gives you the right tools to navigate all challenges and obstacles, because our 2.0 would have done that, you know, navigating over, you know, to Aotearoa New Zealand on a waka, and you know, they've thrived in their culture, and yeah, it just allows us to do that. So something I tap into for my fighting is, you know, that warrior spirit is something that's in me. It's in my blood. So, you know, I was born Māori. I didn't choose it. It's just something that's in me. So it's powerful when you can really connect. And you use all that wairoa, which is your energy, and tap into that mana, which is a source of energy to live your best Māori life. So massive milestone for our whānau. You know, really proud of my wife. And then the journey never ends. It's like martial arts. The more you know, the least you know. So one thing we did there was a haka with me and my brother and our cousins, just to capture the moment. I don't have to. This really embodies what we're doing is supporting her on her journey, and the best way to do that is in haka. So the actions and the kupu, which is the words, really embody, you know, her journey, and just shows how much aroha, love, and support we have for her. And it's just a special token that our culture has to show our respect.
that is beautiful. Well done, and congratulations to her. Perhaps on a less beautiful note, can I ask, what is the issue with you and Manel? What's going on here? And then he wins on Saturday and gets on the microphone and says "F you" to you, to Izzy as well. There's a great video of Izzy eating while watching, and he's like, "Whoa, well, why are you calling me out here? Why are you talking about me?" But clearly, you're in the same weight class, and there's an issue there. What is the problem between the two of you?
The issue is, no, there's no issue on my part. I don't hold on to any I don't have any negative energy or any beef. It's the way he carries himself. He's a very negative person and very hostile. You know, he's obviously got a lot of issues, a lot of trauma, a lot of insecurities. I don't know, that's what I see when I hear him, you know, call my name. And you know, something that happened obviously in Sydney when I pulled out of a fight because I had an injury and I was out for about 1 year. The UFC flew me over to Sydney to be a guest fighter. Obviously, I've got a family to look after. If they're saying, "Hey, can you come over to Sydney to be a guest fighter?" I still want to make some money, even though I'm not fighting, to provide for my family. So that's why I was here, and obviously to support my teammates that are still fighting. So being at the press conference, I was going to be going on stage after to talk to the crowd, and then he sees me and he thinks, "Look at this guy. He's turned up, pulled out of the fight, but he's here in the crowd." And then he threw a drink bottle at me. He's lucky that my wife wasn't sitting next to me, and it didn't hit her. It hit a chair. It didn't hit anything, luckily, and didn't hurt anyone. But you know, that's the kind of person he is. He doesn't care about anyone else but himself. He's selfish, and you know, he's not going to go far in this world. That's why I'm in the position I am, because I'm putting out good energy into the universe. This guy's all about blaming everyone else. Everyone's against him. Everyone's playing victim. And that's why he's trying to get a reaction out of me. And that's why he's saying my name now, even though he fought Makaev, who lost. You know, he got very humbled there. And he still needs to be humbled. So I'm not going to give him the satisfaction. I'm worried about a title fight. That's what I'm looking at. You know, when I win the belt and he's still winning, or if he's doing well in his career, we might meet later on down the track. But for now, he's all just talk, a lot of bark, no bite. You can say all he wants, you know. He's lucky that there was security and cameras on when he talks and when he's really getting pretty getting pretty physical. But on his own, we saw him backstage by himself. He didn't say anything. He didn't do anything. You know, it's all an act. So I see straight through him. You know, and one day we will fight. It will happen. But for now, I'm worried about a title fight. So that's all my energy's into is Pantoja. I'm bringing a belt back to New Zealand, back to Aotearoa, New Zealand, and that's what I'm putting my energy into.
After his performance, is there any part of you that is concerned that they'll go in his direction for the next title shot as opposed to you?
No, Dana doesn't even like him.
He didn't give him the bonuses.
You can tell.
Yeah.
I can see the body language, you know, the way that he was talking to him, like, hey, I'm going to come to your house. We're going to sort out this and get a contract. Bro, don't go to his house. You're going to get cut from the UFC.
Yeah.
Just let your fights do the talking, bro. You talk too much. He looks like an idiot. And the way he carries himself, you know, just shows that no respect. And he needs to be taught a lesson. But that will come. Yeah, just wait till your turn. For now, it's my time, and that's what I'm focusing on.
One last one on the division. Were you surprised they didn't re-sign Makayev?
He's boring. He's boring, bro. Like, this is fighting. It's not wrestling. It's not hugging. Don't pull someone's pants down in the middle of a fight. You know, they're just desperate, and it's just ugly. It's the fight game. If we were trying to wrestle and trying to just do bare minimum to fight or to win a fight, that's what I'd be training in. That's all I'd be doing, wrestling. But no one wants to see that. No one pays all this money to see someone just dry hump someone on the ground and that's it. There's not much skill in that. There's just holding on. That's it. So I'm not surprised. You know, these Klingons that come into the UFC, they get found out eventually, and you know, if he makes it back.
Oh, I think we lost your audio. Did we lose his audio?
We did. Give us 1 second.
Okay.
Is it back?
Yeah, you're back. You're back. Yep.
You're back. Sorry. Yeah. And then in the Manel fight, these guys are just looking at each other's eyes. The whole before the fight, they're looking like they're going to rip in and tear each other's heads off. And then the fight started. They just stood there, getting lost in each other's eyes. And then one person's pulling his pants down in the second round. Come on, guys! Like that's not fighting. Back it up, and when it's actually you got 15 minutes to do that. So yeah, the thing about Makayev is another guy that talks a lot and he under delivers. And in the UFC, you got to step up. You know, me and Steve were on a co-main event on a big card in Perth, and we delivered. That's what the fans came to see. Came to see knockouts. Came to see violence. That's why you're on the prelims, because they're scared to put you on a main card because they don't want to have a no-show. You know, let the fans down, and people pay good money to watch this. So you gotta play the game, and the fight game. It's all about, you know, going after it. I think that's why Dana respects me, and you know, we have a good relationship.
Final one, you versus Pantoja, 2 or maybe 1.5. The Ultimate Fighter doesn't really count. Sometime in the spring. What do you feel? What do you reckon? How does it go down?
How does this fight go down? Me and Pantoja, 2025. The energy I'm bringing into this fight camp is going to be next level. I feel like I'm mature. Coming into my mature age where, you know, I'm putting everything together now. I'm more intentional. I'm more focused. I'm more dialed in, more connected, and I've got more to lose. I'm going for everything. I had my chance against Moreno, and second chances don't come around often. So I'm going to take this, and what better time now than to represent my people, my country on that world stage, and go after it, and bring a belt back home to my whānau, my gym, CKB, and my country, Aotearoa, New Zealand. So I'm excited, I'm motivated, and I can't wait to get in there and just see what everything Pantoja brings to the table. I'm expecting a tough fight. I'm expecting a dog fight. but I'll come out on top. Something that I've really pride myself in is my resilience. Really staying in it. My whole career has been like that. I've taken losses. I've learned from them. I've had the speed bumps. I've had the highs and lows in this fight game, but I'm still here. I'm still standing, and I still back myself. So put anyone in front of me at flyweight, and I'll come out on top.
Well done. Looking forward to it. Thank you for the time, Kai. I really appreciate it. Happy holidays to you and your family, and hopefully for your sake, you get that fight in 2025 and we get to see it again.
Awesome, brother. Appreciate your time, Ariel.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. There he is, the great Kai France. Very likely next for the UFC flyweight title against the champion, Alex Pantoja. Great stuff there. At some point, it feels like we have to see that fight against Manel Kape, but I understand why go for that now when you're that close to fighting for a belt. And the options, we've discussed them. Makhachev not in the UFC. Figueiredo, I would be very surprised, honestly, given the issues that he had at 125. Making that weight, I don't think the loss necessarily to Petr Yan should preclude him from those discussions, but just making the weight, and especially in a not so healthy manner, and obviously the issues actually making the weight, probably are ruling him out. Kape is out there. Kai France is out there. His win probably more impressive. As he mentioned, Brandon Royval and Moreno have had their cracks, multiple cracks each. Albazi coming off the controversial win, then coming off the loss to Moreno. Feels like it's right there for him, and I would love to see it. And yes, they did fight, as he said, some 8 years ago, but it was on The Ultimate Fighter, and there's a great story to be told, and so much has happened to both of them since then. So let us see. All right, great chat there. Now let's answer some damn questions as we close out this beautiful Wednesday before the holiday break. For most people, I feel like no matter where you are in the world, most people are off starting Monday. Most people, right? I mean,
I think that'd be accurate to say.
Yeah, but not us. Not us. We've got a whole host of
cooking.
things. Yeah, we got a whole host of things. We got full shows this week. Then we're going to have some fun shows. Different schedule next week. I could tell you a little bit about it now. On Monday of next week, December the 23rd, we are going to have our 2025 preview show. So we're going to look ahead to 2025 in MMA. We're going to make some picks. We're going to talk about some stories to watch, make some predictions, maybe some prognostications, if you will. And so that will drop on Monday, December the 23rd. On December the 27th, which is the next Friday, we'll have a European MMA year in review, courtesy of The Crack and Pete Carroll and his squad that he is putting together. So they'll look back at the year that was as far as European MMA is concerned. On December the 30th, which is in 2 Mondays from now.
Wait, let me write these down.
Yep, let me speak slowly. I'm very, very excited about this one. We've had a lot of classic interviews. We've looked back at them. We've talked about them. We've referenced them. We're going to start a thing here where I kind of give you like the full story behind some of these classic interviews. Rampage, Dana, Nick Diaz, etc. And we'll drop our first one on December 30th. So it'll be me looking back at some classic interviews, telling you the behind-the-scenes stories, reminiscing, a little nostalgia, and perhaps if you're a new fan, perhaps it's your first time seeing these, but these are some of the more classic interviews, if you will. On January 3rd, PT will be back for another edition of The Crack, this time looking ahead to 2025 in European MMA. What's to come, picks, prognostication, predictions, all that stuff and more. And then we'll be back in earnest on January 6th for our award shows. So usually we kind of go dark. In the new era, we are not going dark. 4 new shows dropping in your laps during the Christmas and New Year's and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa.
The holidays are too bright to go dark.
Break, yes. We'll be dropping those for you, so stay tuned for those. This is the last full week of regular shows, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but still plenty of fun to come, and can't wait, of course, for the Helwani Knows Award Show, which is live on January 6th, and We like to get the temperature of the people. Actually, as I was talking to Kai, our post went up for the People's Awards, which is essentially everyone weigh in. The Google Doc is there. And then with the help of moderator emeritus Lewis and the great Alex Weber, they will help us compile the pick of the people. So myself, GC, Rick, PT will all make our picks. It's the most robust award show in sports, but then we'll also tell you who the people voted for or what the people voted for. And so that is up right now on the Substack page. That's arielhelwani.substack.com. Speaking of the Substack page, that's where you can get the questions. And speaking of On the Nose, I do want to let you know that this week's episode, or this week's On the Nose segment, I should say, is brought to you by our great friends over at Averon. I love these gentlemen. I told you about them. It's essentially a husband and wife team, and they're tremendous people, and we're so proud to be repping them. You'll recall the first time we spoke about Averon, both New York Rick and GC went toe-to-toe in a bit of a bike challenge. We may, in fact, be getting a rematch on today's episode, so stay tuned for that. Sean Brady even throwing his name into the hat. He wants some of the smoke as well. But let me tell you about our good friends over at Averon first. Your workout routine should not feel like a grind. Everyone says, going on a treadmill, going on a bike, going on this, going on a run. It's so boring. Well, that's why Averon makes exercise more fun and easier to stick to using gamification. Yep, you can play actual video games while you work out. Can we get some music, Frank? Can we get a little pomp and circumstance, or is there no music to be had? I like a little music. Thank you. Powered by their award-winning Averon World software and paired with industry-leading hardware, Averon's rower, bike, and treadmill delivers some of the most fun and effective workouts ever. Jump into a session, and before you know it, you're locked in, competing head-to-head, racing against the clock, or chasing your personal best. Averon's got everything from games and challenges to virtual rides, on-demand classes, and the most streaming options out there. Sweat it out, get competitive, and look forward to your next cardio day. And Averon's holiday sale starts tomorrow, so you can unwrap some great deals. Plus, you can head over right now to averonactive.com/uncrowned. That's averonactive.com/uncrowned. Go check them out right now. Trust me, we don't partner up with any jabroni companies out there. They are legit. They are the best. It's fun. It's entertaining. You're not thinking about the workout. You're having a good time. You're distracted. It makes it fly by. And if you go to averonactive.com/uncrowned, you get an extra $50 off. Again, that's AVIRON active.com/uncrowned to end boring workouts. No one wants a boring workout. I have them at home. We have them here. Highly recommend them. Support them because they support us. I like that Irish music. That was
little Celtic folk music, right?
Hadn't heard that one before.
No, I know a lot of people argue they all sound the same.
Yeah.
I don't think that's appropriate. They each have their own unique
no, I like that. That was good.
Tempo, yeah.
I'm still buzzing from Paul Hughes, if I'm being honest.
What a spot, right?
I gotta admit, I got a man crush on Paul Hughes.
He's the man. He's so likable. Look at Pizzi with the grin.
Pizzi was dying back here too.
Pizzi gimmick just killed me.
By the way,
I was crying, man.
When you were on, right?
Blanche, Pizzi was loving it.
Pizzi, were you on?
On what?
Like, were you there when he started talking about that
stuff?
stuff?
He heard everything.
Oh yeah, I was already on the call. Yeah, I was pissed.
If we weren't hiding Pizzi from Paul Hughes, it would have been incredible to go to Pizzi's camera because he was legit rolling.
Oh my god, that is amazing. Yeah.
Do you know what? I don't know where he started. He started that on your show too.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. Hang on a second. I'm only after seeing GC's stuff. Is that 1990?
Take a look at this. Got multiple compliments from Irishmen on the ride in today. They were like, "Oh, that's a real jersey right there, man. That's an absolute classic."
Oh, there it is.
Start it up.
That is beautiful, GC.
I really appreciate that, Pizzi. Coming from you, that means a lot.
Do you know how many Irish children were conceived while lads came home from that World Cup?
What year did you say it was? 92?
1990.
1990. The crack is 90. Year. That's where it comes from, right?
Great year.
No, but
you literally told me that the crack is 90 is about Italian 90.
No, I think Paddy Hewlin told you that and you're attributing it to me.
Is it not true?
the crack is 90s. Like, it's 90, you know what I mean?
All Irish people are the same thing.
Wow. You know how many people I've told, like, these people love Italian 90s so much that there's a saying.
No, we do. That is true. That is true. Like,
I feel like I've been conned.
My dad, like, he used to get emotional when he was talking about 1990. We were all like, we're like toddlers. So he was just going out for all the games. And we got to the quarterfinal, I believe, and there was played Romania in the first knockout game, and it went to penalty shootouts. And everyone just stayed out all night. I think he got lost in the park trying to walk home, like a park that is right beside our house. I think he just fell asleep there for the night. Legend.
How far did you go? Quarterfinals?
Quarterfinals, yeah.
Do you remember? How old were you in 90?
Well, every time they played a game, they'd have these street parties. So, like, the whole block would shut down. There'd be a DJ. There'd be a massive barbecue. It was class. So I remember that. I don't really remember watching the football. I remember 1994, the US, when we got to the last 16 and that one, and that was just magic. It was that's why there's so much despair in the country right now. I believe it's because the football team is doing so well all the time.
What about this jumper? Where'd you get this?
I don't know where I got it. I got it off online somewhere.
It's fantastic. The mega powers.
It's a bit big. It's
I thought it was a Chiefs one at first, man.
Yeah, me too. I was worried.
Chiefs colors. It's not as impressive as GC's jersey, but at least I've made an effort this time. Remember Halloween? The lads were all dressed up. I just came on with a hat on, and they were like, "Peasy, for fuck's sake, man."
Yeah, I know. It wasn't good.
Hey, can I make an admission of guilt here? I have to do it. I have to clear the air, clear my conscience. Bought the Polaroid camera for the studio, to take pictures of you and guests. I folded. I completely cracked under the pressure.
What, Paul?
Took the picture?
Yeah.
Realized after Paul had walked out, the film was the camera was out of film.
So we took a fake picture.
Completely folded.
Because we've taken so many pictures of all the other guests.
Really one of my most embarrassing moments.
By the way,
Get him back here now. He's probably eating lunch.
By the way,
down the road.
he was so excited about the Polaroid. He even I was like, "Oh, you guys are doing Polaroids now?"
I honestly thought about doing like a hack where I just took a picture of like a screen of the picture that you guys took together. But I just had to clear my conscience.
Wow.
It's all right, GC. I'll let it go, man.
Hopefully he's not listening.
Yeah.
I
really folded.
I folded. The best, though. Isn't he such a lovely guy, though?
If he keeps it up, he'll be back, I'm sure.
Yeah. We'll do it again.
Oh, January 25th is I'm gonna be on pins and needles
coming up.
All right, let's get to some questions, gentlemen. Kenny is up first. Happy holidays, Ariel and team. This question is for everyone. Other than Jones versus Aspinall, what are your 3 top unannounced fights you most want to see in 2025? And guess what, Kenny? We're not going to answer that question. You know why?
You.
Because we're going to talk about that in our preview show, all right? Our 2025 preview show. So I don't want to give it away. Is that fair, guys, or is that unfair?
That's the right move.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Even though I have an extensive list.
Okay.
I'm alpha.
That's right. That's what we do around here. But thank you. I do appreciate it. And that is to come. You'll get that on Monday, December the 23rd. Connor from Canada. Hey, guys, I need your advice on something. When I get home from work, my girlfriend will ask me about my day, and it usually takes me about 5 minutes to recap. I'll then ask her about hers, and she will take up to 45 minutes or something. How can I politely get her to give me a shortened version without offending her?
I
Thanks.
can answer this one. You can quote the television show Space. Just say, skip to the end.
Wow. Yeah, I'm sure that'll go over well.
Yeah, my wife loves it. She stops talking. She closes her eyes and counts back from 10. And then I think I get the gist of what the day was like, and we move on to dinner.
Wow. You guys...
he needs to shorten his answer. 5 minutes, mate. Like, what happened?
Yeah, that's true. You're setting the wrong...
Oh, you think the 5 minutes is too long?
He's setting the tone completely wrong there. How's your day? Grand. And move on. Walk out of the room so you don't have to bat it back.
Grand is a great shout. I haven't used that one in a while.
He doesn't even wait to hear the response. He's just like, it was great.
How's your day? Grand. I'm out of the day. I'm out the door. If we have a good, compelling conversation when I come back, please. That's what I want. That's what my body language is saying. So I'd advise him.
I guess you do work from home, eh? So you don't walk into the house. Okay. So you leave after your work.
Yeah, well, it's very different. Like a line would take probably 25 minutes to walk to this side of the house. Do you know what I mean?
Wow, yeah, it's so
all
big.
this space, and you still haven't prepped the guest room for me.
Well,
he'll get somebody.
We don't want vagrants coming in.
Are we going to that burrito place when I come visit?
There's one in Blanchardstown.
Yeah, what was it called?
Boojum.
Yeah, that's where we'll go.
It's a weird name, if I'm being honest.
Sounds like
is it something to do with like bougie?
Burritos.
Yeah.
Bourgeoisie.
Yeah.
The one and only says in the chat, say, give me the 3-rounder at the Apex version, babe. I think that actually...
Oh, that's great.
Wow.
That's great.
I mean, you'd have to be a hardcore fan to get that reference. I don't know about you. Perhaps EJ will understand this. You know, I do get asked, how was the show? How was the day? And I don't really want to talk about it. I'd rather actually block it all out. Not because it's a bad thing, but it's like, I'd rather just listen to someone else tell me about something else than we've talked about it enough. And
Sounds like you take the PT route then.
Yeah, but it's not because I'm
you did a one-word answer.
Yeah, it's not because I'm being rude. I just don't really feel like. Well, first of all, on these particular days, speaking a lot, but also, I think my wife takes it as like an insult, but it's not that. Like she'll ask me, like she'll always say, "Who's on the show today?" or "Who was on the show today?" And my answer is always people.
Wow. You're
This is a PT
busting
Carroll.
people.
You're 100%.
Yeah.
In your
You're
defense,
100%.
it's
Well,
all
but-
over social media.
But also, I'm going to be like, oh yeah, Kaikar France was on, and then Tyron Woodley was on, and like, why do I have to get into all of this?
Who, me?
Yeah, what's the point? I don't know. I don't know if I'm being a
So with
dick.
the same tactic. We're using the same tactic.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like you could at least give her the lineup, you know?
Yeah, yours is a bit more rude than mine, actually.
You
Right,
can
it's
tell
always
her what you
people.
tell me and be like, just look at the YouTube headline.
I mean, I should, and I have at times. No denying. Actually,
You should actually just start saying grand and then texting her the link to the full show.
oh yeah,
That'll go
Just
well.
try the grand and leave the room. Just set the tone.
My wife and I, we actually every time, as soon as I walk in the door, we actually sit down together and have a full debrief. It takes about an hour and a half.
Talking
You know,
shit.
just kind of.
Is that true?
90
reviewing-
minutes at 10 after you make it all the way on the Long Island Railroad?
There's
up to
no
Amsterdam?
My wife and I have been together so long that there's an unstated agreement that neither of us gives a shit about the other's day.
Wow, I love it.
And don't ask. Now, I will say that agreement, that unwritten rule, is observed more by me. And then every 6 months, I'll get he never asked me about my day, and so then I
Yeah.
have to like kind of
We don't
break from it.
And then you ask about it for a few days.
And then I ask about it for a few days, and then we
then you
move
go-
on from
yeah.
that.
Ariel, you should say grand and then walk out the door, but walk out into the backyard and just start messing with start playing in the giant pile
Oh,
of
the
compost.
compost. Yeah, I thought you were gonna say like go outside, smoke a cigarette.
Smoke a cigarette while you're playing with the
Yeah,
compost.
the Ben Affleck
Start
look.
digging through it. Yeah, exactly. exactly.
the
Yeah.
best
Do the
That's
Ben
how I feel.
Affleck. Do the
That's
Ben
how I
Affleck.
feel when someone asks me how my day is. I feel like Ben Affleck in that picture. I'm just like, oh, for fuck's sake.
You know what's funny? I actually am more willing to engage with strangers on how my day is going. Like when
Yes.
people ask me, like in the street, like how's your day going? I pause for a second. I actually try and give them an answer, good, bad, whatever, indifferent. When my wife sometimes asks, if she even asks, like I'll just be like, it was fine.
I usually throttle it up. I usually am like, it's up there for maybe the best days of my entire life.
Serious? Like
Yeah,
a random.
now,
I
is it
usually
genuine,
just no, it's completely
Okay, got it.
disingenuous. I'm lying to their face. It was an average day that I'll forget within a week, but I pump it up and say I've never
what's
been
the
better
reason
in my
for this?
entire life. I don't know. Positivity. Put it out. in the world.
Yeah, like
I
Kaikar
actually,
France.
my go-to response is, it was a fun day. And I think that speaks volumes for work.
Okay, but
That's
what
how
is
you
the
say it too. That's how
what
you
is
say
the
it?
point of all these
It was a fun
pleasantries?
day.
Truly, what
I mean,
is
it's
the
literally
point?
like, how was your day? Oh, it was fun. I realize that I've said that over the past couple of years, as opposed to like, oh, it was a day. or-
Now, do you expand
Happy to hear
upon
that.
that?
Yeah, like when asked, oh, what was fun about it? It's like, oh, Ariel showed up with bagels, really
Wow.
acknowledged me.
Rubbing this in my face again.
Connor
I
invited
brought
me
you a
out.
bagel today, Frank.
Wow.
See, things, the wires are crossed.
Not a fun day today. You won't be telling it was fun today after this bagel
Yeah,
scandal.
after this whole thing, well, actually, when she hears it, I said the whole skip to the end bit. She's
Yeah,
probably
she's not gonna
talk
like
to
that.
me.
She's
Yeah.
not gonna like that.
All right, well, we'll go back to the questions now after
Brand.
all that. James Portland asks, Hola, Ariel, how do you see Cody's title run ending? Cody Rhodes, that is. I thought Kevin Owens should have won on Saturday and had Cody win it back at the next Saturday night's main event or Royal Rumble. Would WWE really have The Rock beat him at WrestleMania? I didn't think for a second that Kevin Owens, if you just kind of look at Roman Reigns' run, every time people were like, oh, it's definitely going to be this time. Like they had him keep the belt for 4 years, and I think Cody's going to keep it for a while as well. I wouldn't be surprised if he retains at WrestleMania and then some. And so, no, I don't think The Rock, if he does in fact go up against The Rock, and I don't think that's fait accompli, maybe it's CM Punk. I don't think that's a done deal. I think he retains. So I don't see it ending anytime soon. He's selling a ton of merch. He's supremely popular. Why end it? I would be very surprised. They're doing some sort of like fan/press event today. WWE is, and I guess they announced that Logan Paul is actually coming back. I guess there was some talk of him
against Connor.
No, just coming back to wrestling. There was some talk of maybe him not coming back. Did you hear about this?
I did not, but that feels weird. Like, isn't he amazing? Isn't he like?
I think he was. I think he was working.
Oh, okay.
If I'm being honest, I think he was working. But yeah, they announced it, and then they announced that, or they did a face-off between CM Punk and Seth Rollins for the January 6th Netflix debut. Who's excited about that? Live on Netflix. It's going to be a big stretch for Netflix coming up with the two football games on Christmas Day and then the January 6th debut. I would be shocked if there's any issues. That was a freak thing, but I think it's going to be.
You're talking from a tech standpoint?
Yeah, streaming standpoint.
Yeah, I'd be shocked as well.
Here's Debo. Shalom, Ariel. Curious to get your insights on how involved Dana White is in the broadcasting production for the UFC. Do you think he gives feedback to the commentators during the shows or after the shows? Is he the one who decides the broadcasters for each card, or do you think he is more hands-off? All the best for the holidays to you and the boys in the back, Debo. So in the early days, he was supremely involved. There was always a gentleman named Craig Borsari who was sort of like the EP, the head of production for the UFC, and he's still in that role. But now at this point, maybe 12 or so years ago, it's been a while, they hired a young man named Zach Candido, who's incredible at his job from ESPN, and he kind of became the day-to-day head of production, if you will, right under Craig. And Dana kind of lets them, do their thing at this juncture. There's the stories about Vince McMahon being in the broadcaster's ears, and Dana White himself has talked about having the phone that could go directly into the truck and he'd chew people out if he was unhappy about something. And I know he does weigh in on certain things, but I don't think to that degree anymore. And he's certainly not the one deciding, okay, on this fight night card, the booth is going to be this, and then the desk is going to be this. No, but the look, the feel, that type of stuff, he's supremely involved. At this point, it's a machine that kind of runs itself, but he's not sitting there in gorilla position like Triple H or Vince back in the day, speaking directly to the broadcasters. You see him sitting cage side, and he doesn't have a headset on usually, and if he does, it's just to listen. But he does have the ability. He talks about that red phone to call the truck and weigh in on something if need be. Krylex. Hey, Ariel, happy holidays. As one Egyptian to another, what is your favorite Egyptian dish? When are you going to take the boys in the back and Pizzi to get some molokhia or macarona bechamel or some stuffed grape leaves, which is known, he didn't write this, as wararish, or the classic foul madames, which is fava beans, keep killing it as the uncrowned kings that you all are. My favorite, so my mom is Lebanese. My mom is from Beirut, and so she was obviously the one doing the cooking, and my grandmother as well, who's her mother. And so a lot of it was Lebanese, which is very, very similar. My dad's from Egypt. And so my favorite, all-time favorite is kusamershi, and that is basically stuffed zucchini with meat and rice inside, and like some sort of like lemony sauce on top. Very, very, not like thick sauce at all.
Sounds great.
And my mouth is watering just talking about it. No one makes it better than my mom. Every time we go home, that's what she makes. In addition to mejedra, and there's molokhia, as he mentioned, and mejedra is something with rice and lentils. She'll make like the classic chicken and all that. And we also were a big Italian food family, so she would always make all kinds of pasta dishes and lasagna and stuff like that. Mom, pound for pound, hands down, greatest cook of all time. I hope that doesn't offend anyone, but at least as far as my rankings are concerned, she is the best. So number one for me would be kusamershi. Sambusek as well, which is like a sort of like, not really a pastry, but like a cheese thing, like a round little thing, kind of pastry-ish, but not like flaky like that. Kibbeh beseniye, manushe. I could go on and on, guys, but I will leave it at that because it's making me very.
When are you
hungry.
bringing us? That was the question.
Yeah.
I'm willing to fly out tomorrow.
Stuffed grape leaves too.
Yeah, that's the
Absolutely
the
love
what
that.
arish.
Amazing.
Oh,
There's ones with meat and there's ones without meat. I'm down with both. I usually typically like the non-meat ones, and then you could also go hot or cold. I typically like the cold ones.
Yeah, I'm cold non-meat on the stuffed grape leaves.
Yep.
I'm free for the next 2 weeks. Whenever
Sure.
you want to.
Okay. We'll talk offline.
Yeah.
All right. Grab his Rick and twist it. What a year indeed. Good tidings to the crew and big old lump of coal for Franklin.
Wait, what the hell?
I have an awesome work friend who loves boxing and is getting into MMA. I'd love to treat him, hit up the Intuit Dome, and get some Roscoe's. The upcoming card, 311, is a total killer, but I'm a bit concerned how wrestling heavy it will be in the main 2 bouts. Do you think this would be a good intro event to attend? All the best and blessings into 2025. Isa Adonai Panav Elecha Vayasem Lecha Shalom.
Damn.
Respect. I would go. First of all, Intuit Dome is incredible. It's fantastic, right? And I think that card is amazing. The top 2 fights are great, but then also you have like Jamal Hill against Yuri Prochaska. And what else? You've got Peyton Talbot on there. UFC 311. Beneil Dariush against Renato Moicano? I mean, come on. Just for that alone. Kevin Holland against RDR. Johnny Walker against Bogdan Guskov. Jalton Almeida. It's a great card. Grant Dawson. Carol Hossa. Ricky Tercios. Yeah. I think you should go. Jesse Orozco, do you ever see yourself retiring from journalism and work for a promoter to do more in-ring interviews and or other gigs? No, I don't think so. I would like to, I like doing it this way. Right? This is more fun. And then I could moonlight, I could do the broadcasting and all that stuff. So I like being on this side of the fence. I love being impartial. And then when there's opportunities to work for the actual broadcaster as opposed to the promoter, i.e. Showtime, DAZN, etc., I'm able to do that. So never say never, but this is something that I enjoy doing more, and right now is more my speed and what I prefer. Now, I'm looking at that Avron logo right over there, and so let's not delay the inevitable. We had the big showdown about a month ago, and so let's take a little bit of a break in the action here. A month ago, I sort of sprung it upon the boys and said, hey guys, let's do a head-to-head. On that particular day, GC, would it be fair to say, dominated New York Rick? Now, New York Rick afterwards presented some excuses saying, the resistance wasn't quite what I wanted, this, that, and the other.
Here's all I'll say. Yeah, you're making a strong case here. All I'm going to say is the results will speak for themselves today.
Rick trying to force a trilogy.
There's
I like this, Rick.
Well,
there's no pressure on me because I know what happened last time. So GC, you do the honors.
Well,
Let's,
I
all right, so we're putting the pressure on me then.
I couldn't help but notice that Rick came rocking track pants. He's ready to go. Like he's not.
I'm in
messing
jeans
about.
over here.
Yeah.
Talk about fair play. I mean, this is
what a shame.
So let's lay out the stipulations here. It's 1 minute.
We're gonna go 1 minute head to head.
1 minute GC versus Rick part 2.
In fact, shout out to Avron. They've literally created a program for us for this specific purpose called head to head.
Oh, I love it.
Me versus GC, we're going head to head.
Oh my God, this is great.
I was back here getting warm. I was stretching up. I was doing jumping jacks. I was ready to go, and then time went on.
He's a pure athlete. That's
now
the
I've
thing
cooled
about
back
GC.
down. Now I've cooled back down.
And the way we're distinguishing who wins is via the output, right?
Yeah, there's an output measurement. Yep.
All right. Well, last time up, Rick went first, so only fair.
All right, so I have to post a number.
Yeah, here it is.
Put up something, GC. Make
a
it
lot
hard
of
for me.
pressure.
Go on, GC.
What do we got? Any music? Any something?
Rick, I love your new attitude, mate. Like I didn't believe before I heard you speak today, and just hearing that from you has changed my mind completely. I think
I
you're
know
a
some
sleeping
things that
giant.
you don't know. You know, when
there
I was
he
talking
is.
about the
There he
resistance.
is.
Oh, here he comes. The champ is here. Champ is here.
Can you hear us right now, GC?
I thought he was going to rip those jeans off stripper style there and have a little pair of short shorts on.
My breakaway pants.
Yes.
Having some issues getting on the bike here.
Okay, what are the can you hear me right now? GC, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You hear me?
Oh yeah, I hear you just fine. You look fantastic.
All right,
You're on there. The bike looks tremendous.
We're gonna go head to head.
Yep.
We're gonna go 1 minute.
Okay. What is your resistance? What is your resistance?
It's nothing yet. I'm waiting for it to come up. I'm just starting off the gates hot.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful jersey.
I'm going resistance 100. All right, here we go.
Can you let me know when you start?
I'm started.
Okay, he started. Okay, he's going full throttle.
33 miles an hour right now.
Holy shit.
We're cranking it up. 130 resistance.
Yes. Look at him go. In the darkness of the night. Oh, he just went past 10. And you know what I like about this right now from GC? Let's get a shot of GC real quick. He's out of the seat. He's going full throttle. He's out of the
30 miles
saddle.
an hour.
What's your resistance at? What's your resistance?
130. I got to crank it back down a bit.
Oh my gosh. Now he's sitting down. He's getting tired. He gassed out.
Legs are burning, boys.
What's the screen? What does it say? I'm at 41 seconds, but I think I was a little late. How much time left?
10 seconds.
10 seconds left. Here it is, the final push from GC. I can see Rick getting a little bit concerned. Oh, yes. He's getting
26.6.
What is it? What is it?
26.6.
26. What'd you get last time?
I don't know. Legs are jelly over here.
Do you remember what he got last
knee
time?
almost buckle?
No.
We were like both sub 20. He had like a 15 or something.
Well done, GC. Well done, mate.
Now, GC,
I think I hit like 11.
Can I
Almost
ask
a half mile.
Yeah, can I ask you, do you think you came out too strong out of the gate?
Oh yeah, legs started to burn bad.
Yeah, you think so? Next time out, you think it's better to kind of like...
Yeah, I gotta pace myself.
Yeah, okay.
Gotta pace myself.
All right, well,
Bye,
there
Rick.
it is. Put it on the board.
Number's been posted.
26.6. The man is struggling. Look at this.
My legs are actual jelly over here.
Oh my gosh. With jeans to boot, which I think is it's a questionable move. And
We'll get him,
here comes the tracksuit wearing New York Rick. I mean, this is a great move on his part, right, Pete? I mean, he came ready.
The freedom your legs have.
I also had the tracksuit the first time too, and then for the watch party one, GC actually.
See that bike still spinning?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that was still going.
That's called fucking power right there, baby.
All right,
what I didn't say is that Rick actually wears tracksuit every
No,
day.
not true.
It was like a wrestling promo towards the end of GC's when he was just like, no.
All right, we're starting up here.
26.6.
You're starting? Tell me
it's
when.
It's starting up.
3,
5, 4, 3.
You're gonna be able to see him against
1.
All right, here we go. 26.6. Oh, he's going strong, but he's staying in the saddle, it appears. Look at the strength there.
Look at those arms.
Yeah, look at the biceps.
Holy shit.
By the way, no nonsense from Rick right now. Head down. He is not messing around with us.
I don't know about this tune though, Frank.
What are we at? What are we at, Ricky?
Just a simple, hey, I'm okay.
Can we get the screen?
12.
You're breathing, right?
Oh, yes.
How much time left?
He's at 12. GC got 26.
Oh, man, look at him. I'm working him right now.
We're a little over 30
Look at how far ahead
seconds.
I am.
Oh, look at this. This is amazing. Oh, you can
Smoking his ass.
Wow. That is
Come
you
on,
on the
Eric.
right.
You better catch me, Rick.
Reach inside.
You better catch me, Rick. You better catch me, Rick.
GC killed it.
You better catch me, Rick.
Oh, he's getting out of the saddle.
Smoked. Look at my ass. You can't even see my ass. I'm too far ahead. I'm too far ahead. I smoked them, left them in the dust.
That is
Pure
time.
power right here.
That is
Pure
time.
power. This is horsepower in these legs.
Well done, Rick.
What was that? Was that 21, Rick?
21.2.
21.
21.2. Not even fucking close.
GC smoked me.
Sean Brady, where you at? Sean Brady,
might
where
need to
you
call
at,
Sean Brady.
baby?
Wow, we need Sean Brady in here. I can't wait
job,
for that
GC.
I think we needed an actual professional athlete to beat GC.
Come on,
It's
posted a
got-
number. Wait till the finale. Are we even going to do a 5-miler? I'm calling for a 5-miler in the finale.
5 miles in 1 minute?
No, not in a minute.
Oh, okay.
Who can
all
do
right.
5 miles faster?
Is he limping back to the controls?
My
legs are really
I
were
think
jelly.
Rick is on the DL. I think he might
Man
have.
in the arena, Rick. Man in the arena.
Yeah, there it is.
Rick's
Commiseration.
back. Rick's struggling to get back
Look
in
how
here.
slow it is for him to get back. By the way, so that means you're 2-0 against Rick.
2-0, man. At this point, it doesn't even feel like a rivalry.
Wow. Rick,
Ricky, when you hopping out
I need to
there?
hit the lab. We need to figure it out.
this is look at this is like the post-fight. What went wrong out there, Rick?
You know what? I thought it was going to be easier. GC's been cooking. GC's been in the lab.
He's been in the lab.
He's got the stamina.
Lean machine.
I was like, oh, he put up 15 last time. I was putting up 20s in practice. I'm good.
Cardio king.
When he hit that one, what resistance did you start on?
110 got up to 130.
When he was on
going 35
130, I was like, oh boy.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm back to resting heart rate at this
doing
point.
some pre-workout earlier, and then he was stretching.
The stretching.
Listen, man.
Have we tested GC's piss? Can we just say what we're all thinking?
I'm a clean man. Come on.
I'll say Paul Hughes said he wanted to crack on that thing. We'll get him back in.
Oh yes, I would.
He
would
have went. He would have went down and there. He was wearing a tracksuit today and everything.
We could have a whole fighters bracket. And so
Sean Brady, you got to come in.
What was your resistance, Rick?
I started at like 80, then I went down to 50.
Oh wow.
I was trying to find that sweet spot. GC was smarter. He went high to start. It was good. It was a good move.
All right. Well, congratulations.
Well done, GC.
GC. Well done.
My
well
belt
done.
is in the mail.
He's
Heavy.
still
Where's the crown?
undefeated, 2-0. We'll see what happens the next time out. Thank you very much once again to Avron, avronactive.com/uncrowned to end all boring workouts. That's the place to be. You can get $50 off if you go there right now. And again, please support them because they support us. Their holiday sale, by the way, starts tomorrow. It's a fun device. You see it right there. That was brilliant stuff, the head-to-head. I love that. Looking forward to the triology, as they say. Let's go back to Jesse now. Can you explain to us the differences you have seen in journalism between MMA and boxing? Which one has maintained a higher standard, in your opinion, for proper sports journalism? I think they're both fine. They're different. I'll say this. This may not be the direction that you were taking this, but like covering a major MMA/UFC event as opposed to a major boxing event is completely different. And covering a major boxing event reminds me a lot of the early days of the UFC, where it was kind of the Wild West. Everyone's walking around with cameras, with phones and things like that. The UFC is a lot more rigid. You get your little, like, it used to be a media day where you could get fun stuff with people, but now everyone comes up to the dais. They all have their 15 minutes. And I don't know. Do you guys agree? Like, do you think they should go back to the old way? Because I felt like we were getting more unique, fun stuff. Now everyone's getting the exact same thing. Every outlet gets the same thing. I don't know if there's as much of an incentive for someone to fly out there because, like, back in the day, some of the best stuff that I ever got were those one-on-ones before, like the Khabib one, the Alistair Overeem one, the Nick Diaz ones. Like, those are just Rampage. Now it's everyone just getting the same stuff. In boxing, it's more like the old days of the UFC where everyone's walking around. You could get this guy there, you could get that guy there, you could get this trainer, this promoter is just walking around. It's a lot more loosey-goosey Wild West, and I think that's better for the media because you could get your own unique exclusive stuff. So
I don't
that's
think
what
the UFC is ever going to go back to that.
No.
Because they're not incentivized, right? They can just continue to do it the way they're doing it, and everybody will kind of, follow that suit. The media who could see an opportunity would benefit from that greatly, to the point that you're making. Like, you can get exclusive and unique stuff that's not going to be said to everybody else and whoever has the camera pointed.
Oh, yeah.
It would benefit the media, but I don't know if the UFC is incentivized to do it.
I mean, honestly, when I was coming up, if it was the system that, was in place today, it would be a lot harder to stick out. You know what I mean? It's harder to stick out if you want to be an interviewer. One thing I don't understand about the boxing media, especially the video reporters, why do they all do it the same way? Why do they all hold the camera here and ask the questions? Like, why don't they have a microphone and do it that way? Is it just easier? I don't know. If you're one-man banding it, I guess. But I would say that the juice is worth the squeeze if you just go like a little step further as far as the production is concerned. Just my 2 cents.
Shots.
No, I know it's not shots. It's just like
it's shots.
This is exactly what I did. I used to. By the way, back in the day, just to explain to you why this is not shots. If I was going to a market, let's say Stockton, I remember the Stockton one because it was hard to find someone there. There was a CBS show in Stockton. It was Thomas Denny against Nick Diaz, Shayna Baszler against Chris Cyborg. And I would go to the local Craigslist and I would post something and say, I would like to have a local cameraman. And sometimes you get a great one and sometimes you get a lemon. And sometimes they didn't know how to even give you the footage so that I can upload it to MMArated.com. I mean, it was a complete, crapshoot. Until I got to UFC 104, and that was in LA, and Casey Leiden had just been, I don't know if it was let go or parted ways with Elite XC, and he was living in LA, and I told the editor of the AOL Fan House MMA page, Brian Tucker, hey, let's use Casey. I know he's great. He does great stuff. He could be our interviewer. And it was so easy and seamless that the next event that we went to, because 105 was in England. I didn't go to that one. 106 was in Vegas. It was close for him. He was able to drive. 107 was in Memphis. And I said, I think that we should send him out and he be our consistent full-time videographer as opposed to, the crapshoot of trying to find someone in all these different markets. And so for the first time, and this was 2009 initially, the editor did not want to pay for this because he was like, just get local guys. And I said, I think it's worth it. And so I paid for it. And then he proved his worth. And then from there on out, he was always the guy. And so we traveled the world and it was always, we didn't have to, this is our format and this is our look and this and that. It was just consistent. And of course, Esther, his wife, was along doing the photos and it was a fantastic union and partnership. And he's still there at MMA Fighting. And he was the guy for every single one of my interviews. Literally every single one of those interviews was shot by him and Esther. Sometimes we needed a second camera, mainly for like the walk and talks and stuff like that. But there was never one that he missed. I can't even think of a single one. Every single one of those, basically from UFC 107 all the way until I left to ESPN. And the first one in the ESPN era was like 213 or 14, something I think it was 14. Every single one of those pay-per-views, except for a couple here and there. My son was born, this and that. We were at every single one, and it was always him shooting it. And it was, myself with a mic flag, get dressed up, treated with respect and professionalism, and it worked. And so I say this coming from a place of experience, and I think it worked for me. And so I would suggest them that if they want to up it, because part of the reason why I got into it was I used to see all these like Sherdog interviews where they were recording them with a camcorder like this, and I was like, there's a better way of doing this. And I would still maintain that there's a better way of doing it. Back to the questions we go. Thank you very much, Miss Lippy. Wow, that's a great reference. Thank you very much, Miss Lippy. Anyone know?
Billy Madison. It's the only film we've seen.
A question for GC and Pizzi. I am Irish myself, and I understand St. Stephen's Day, but where does the tracksuit tie in, and how does it correlate with the day?
Oh, well, it's not really. It's more of a. Paul said a Belfast thing. I always thought it was like a North Inner City Dublin thing. And
by the way, we're now at 3 bucks. Does this mean like Eric's gone or what?
No. The question was.
Okay. I just wanted. I was like,
even though this question is all pizza.
Right. I got worried there. I was like, wait, what happened there?
I took the gimmick from.
All right.
GC is Irish. He denies it because he looks Scandinavian, but he is in fact Irish. We found that through ancestry, I believe. But yes.
Oh, there it is. Oh, this is a great tune.
Well, it's just, what happens is, right, Christmas Day, it's a day of excess. I mean, food, alcohol, everything. And what they used to do when we were kids was they buy you a Stephen's Day tracksuit because, you know what I mean, it's less formal day. You're sitting around, you're watching the darts, you're watching the football. Your belly's a bit, it's not in a good shape. You're feeling a bit swollen. Put on them sweet track pants. We saw Rick rocking them there during the challenge. It's a day of comfort, and that's what the tracksuit is about. I feel like it's a Dublin tradition. I know all around me growing up, we always had Stephen's Day tracksuits. I've simply resurrected in my later years to show the world what a beautiful culture we have here in Blanchardstown.
I think it's great. By the way, how poor form is it from Paul Hughes to not be going home for Christmas?
I feel like I'm going to have to text Claire and offer my commiserations today because, I mean, what type of son would do that to their mother? Like, that's what I was thinking when he was saying. I was like, oh, too big time now.
Yeah.
Is this not a good excuse, though?
Big time, big Hughes.
Acting the Flash Harry over in Florida.
Wow.
World title on the line, Usman Nurmagomedov?
Nah.
Kissy lips, fancy trainers. What happened to Paul Hughes?
This is rich coming from private jet Pizzi over here who can just fly wherever he wants at any time.
Did you hear him earlier?
Paul's a working class man making his way up, and you're trying to shame him? How dare you? How dare you? We don't stand for Paul Hughes slander on this show.
We said we wouldn't talk about the PJ. We wouldn't talk about the PJ on the show.
It's out there.
That was in my contract.
The mansion, the PJ, the Rolls Royce, it's all out there, Pizzi. Everybody knows now. You hear Rick's breathing, man? I took this guy out to the woodshed.
I know. That's why I thought
I'm about to fall asleep back here. This man is
that's
still
why I got worried.
out.
Are you okay?
I'm hearing a little wheeze on the microphone.
The hair's lost its poof. It's falling down because of the sweat.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go for another round.
1 minute.
Oh my God.
Win or learn. By the way, P.S. Your next book club is going to be a good one, GC. Dark Matter is my sister's favorite book, and they made a limited short series on Apple TV, which the wife and I just finished. Extremely fun concept and a great watch. I highly recommend the series. Enjoy, and happy holidays. Thanks for the year.
Brother, it is incredible. I started it on Sunday. I'm already 200 pages in. I'm almost done with it. It's one of the best books I've ever read. I
Wow.
can't wait to finish it.
Wow.
Highly recommend.
By the
Highly
way,
recommend. Dark Matter. Shout out.
Can I tell you something? There's an older gentleman, probably in his 60s, maybe even 70s, retired, but teaches one course every like second semester. He tells me, and I always see him in the morning when I'm walking the dog before I get ready, and he is always, no matter what, no matter the weather. I saw him this morning, always walking, reading a new book. He doesn't buy the books. He takes them out at the local library, and every single time I ask him, first thing I ask, what are we reading today? Today it was about like the history of the Hoover Dam. And he's reading these books. They're not like, they're like actual books that he takes out. I asked him today, I was peppering him with questions. What do we average a week? He says he averages around 2.5 books a week. His rule is that, and some of them are like 600 pages about like the history of the mummies and this and that. His rule, by the way, if he starts the book, he has to finish it. He will never not finish it. He says he thinks he gets to around like 110, 120 a year. He will walk around town, no matter what, no matter the weather, no matter the time of year, reading a book. Like he doesn't listen to anything. He's never on his phone. He is reading a library book. And I always say to him, like, I feel like I want to live vicariously through you because I'm so impressed that he takes such great joy in doing this. And so I say this because I feel like you're on your way to that type
I mean,
of
that's the
lifestyle.
dream, that I can just walk around. Does he walk a dog or is he just walking the...
By himself, he's got like one of those bags
Satchel?
that, yeah.
Oh, so he's got a little bit of swag to him too.
He walks to the train, which is like a mile away, and he's reading no matter what. I see him all around town, but also around the neighborhood.
I can't do the walk and read.
It's tough,
I see people at the gym on the treadmill reading. I got to be just like sitting there chilling to read.
Yeah, I can't do anything while reading.
I'm also no audiobook. Give me the I don't have a Kindle either. Give me the brick and mortar. Give me
I can't do
real,
the Kindle.
Give
Can't
me
do
the
the
real
Kindle.
paper.
Absolutely not.
Can I
Shout out
just
to
say-
that guy though, legend.
That was such a beautiful story. I mean, it's just incredible. Loving wife and mother, Jacqueline. Ariel, who'd you have on the show today? People. Random stranger walking around the neighborhood. Tell me about the 700 books you read today. Let's have a 4-hour conversation.
I love
about
it.
It's incredible.
Two and a half a week. That's like 150 a year. That's insane.
fascinating.
I read like 20 a year, and I feel like I'm reading all the time.
Speaking of which, if we ever get like a pub quiz group going, we got to get this guy involved.
He's amazing.
Yeah, like
Oh my God, you would love his stories. He's great.
Is he like a neighbor, or do you?
Yeah,
not,
he's like he's
like
around
close
the
enough.
block. He's
like
around the
close
block,
enough.
and he always gives me like life advice. And I always say like, oh man. Okay, he gave me another great line today. He gives me like little nuggets, and he always tells me to appreciate everything I say. I live vicariously through you. And he's like, you have your hands full. You have 3 kids. I'm past that stage and all this stuff. And then at the end he said, everything good. Everyone's good at home. And I said, yeah, everyone's great. And he said, remember, you're always as happy as your most miserable child. I think that was
Wow.
it.
Yeah,
Banger.
damn.
And I
This
was
guy
like,
just drops bars on you and then
What
just
happens
keeps
when you
walking.
read? Yeah,
and I was
you
like,
learn.
damn. I like pondered that for like 5 minutes.
Does he ever like end the conversation? You keep rambling, and he just starts looking back down at the book, and he's like, mm-hmm.
No.
Yep.
I always ask him, what are we reading? Why'd you pick that one? By the way, never buys the book. Always takes it out of the library, which I
true.
think
that is legendary status right there. It's
Yeah.
got like the thin plastic film
Oh
on
yeah,
it been used.
That's what it has. And he opens it, and then I see the little card thingy there in the back.
Bookmark.
Yeah. No, not the bookmark.
From the library.
Does he
Yes.
sign each
Check out.
one?
Bookmark.
He probably signs each one with his name and like a philosophical lesson to each person.
This man has figured it out.
You're gonna
You
find
don't
out
read
he's
it
an
all though,
author.
Ariel.
I do read it all. Actually, I just bought.
You read like a book a year.
Wow, this is crazy. What's with the slander?
See, he's saying all this when he's across the
I'm just
ocean.
saying
Get away
like,
with
oh,
it.
I just
Oh,
bought. I
like-
just.
Your
I live
bookshelf looks
vicariously through-
stacked behind you, Pete.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Pete
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
like how Paul Hughes came from, and he's just coming for next now. He's out for blood. Pete
he
wants
needs to
it
get
back in
revenge
blood.
on
I just
someone.
bought. I just bought a new book. I just bought a new book to read very shortly. It's called Man's Search for Meaning.
Oh,
I think you've talked
Oh,
about
fair
it
enough.
before.
Yeah.
I don't think I've talked about it. It's by I think Viktor Frankl. Are you familiar with it?
Maybe
Maybe.
guy in the concentration camp.
I don't know. Man, I was just shitting on Rick. I have to go get some water. I've yet to have any H2O post bike.
You put in 26.
I feel like a man in the desert.
You earned it. You earned it.
J Mall 1985. Aloha Ariel. When are you going to chat shit with DDP? I'm assuming you're referring to Dricus Duplessis, not Diamond Dallas Page. I remember after he won the belt, you had him scheduled like 2 or 3 times. It was twice, and he canceled. Just no-showed. I don't even know if he canceled. I wonder if it was because you did a deep dive on all his racial, to put it lightly, comments he made on Izzy. Is there a beef there with DDP? Well, what's interesting about this, and this is like classic revisionist history, after I did that quote-unquote deep dive, which was me explaining the history of the beef, I think he was on 3 times. And so the notion that it doesn't come on because of that is crazy. He was even on the show on the Monday of the title fight against Sean Strickland. Now, of course, and I've seen this before, people win the belt and then they say peace out. When they're on the come up, when they're searching for a late notice opponent, when their opponent falls out and they're already in Jacksonville and they're in the hotel gym, they're more than willing to come on. But once they reach the mountaintop, it's fuck Ariel and his dastardly ways. Now, not saying that this is the case here. His coach seems like a lovely, lovely guy, a gentleman that you really want to break bread with and have a grand old chat with. DDP, no beef there, no chatting shit. You never hear me do that. You never hear me talk about that. Didn't love that there were 2 no-shows. His manager, Danny Rubenstein, told me both times that it was all confirmed and all well and good, and maybe this was his way of sticking it to me. I don't know. But after the second time, I was like, all right, I'm not going to go down that road again. But it is important to note he was on at the very least twice, I know for a fact, and I think 3 times after that whole thing. Because remember, Izzy beating Alex Pereira. So that whole thing happened in July, and then Izzy beat Alex Pereira, and then he came on. I remember on that show that we did, we were in... I was in Montreal and we did it, and then there was another time, I believe it was after the Robert Whittaker win, and then there was another time after the... No, it was the...
He said he was over it.
Oh yeah, we cleared it all up.
Yeah, so...
We DM'd about it. Anyway, all good in the hood. Open invitation. Still no response back from the other champion. Ruben, Ariel, BITB, and PT. By the way, something I've wrestled with, is PT a part of the BITB?
Of course.
All right, so can we just make it BITB and he's a part of it?
It's done.
All right.
There is a ceremony and...
Oh, wait, hang on. GC's made some pessimistic noise there as to my inclusion.
Like he's part of the crew.
So should it be BITB?
But we are
and
technically
PT?
by definition, we are not only are we in the back, then I was thinking about it today, me and Rick are also in the back of the control room. We are as in the back as it gets. Not only in the back, we are
even
in the
Frank
back
is
of the back.
More
Frank is in front
us.
of us.
The front row knows.
We're as in...
Joe, I don't want to be in the boys in the back then. Don't forget about it.
I'm just saying, are you in the back, PC? You're one of the
I'm
boys.
I'm the boy across the Atlantic.
Yeah, you're one of the boys, but are you in the back?
In the mansion.
I'm a separate entity. I'm a municipality of the Ariel Helwani Show. That's what I am.
You're like Monaco. If we're the states, you're like Washington, D.C.
He's a colony that we have in Ireland.
Yeah. So are you saying
I think he's one of the BITBs.
Okay.
He is one of the boys.
As soon
it just
as
comes
that
into
noise
question
came
of,
out, GC, that was the end of it for
is
me.
he in the back
or not?
I can't stamp that.
Fucking devastated.
Listen, these seats you want this seat? You want this seat? Pete, this seat is not comfortable. I mean, it is straight up 90-degree angle. I'm sitting here for hours on end. I can't touch my feet to the ground.
Just hopped off
my
the
back hurts when I get home at night. It's cramped in. I mean, look at it. The walls are closing in on me.
What else?
You don't want this mess
Tell us
back
everything.
here, Pete.
Tell us everything.
Look at your spacious setup.
I've got it.
You have an ocean between us.
Look at this.
What is this? The airing of grievances? Festivus is in 5 days, guys.
Are you under the
stairs? Oh, shout out. I just watched that episode.
Is there an official date for Festivus?
Stairs
is
is here.
23rd.
23rd, okay.
What is Festivus?
Festivus.
Come on,
you gotta
man.
watch
You don't watch
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld? I knew you weren't a real New Yorker, Pete.
Did you know that
Curb
the
Your Enthusiasm guy? I'm seeing all of them.
No.
Way better.
Did you know that the strike had come to an end?
Yeah.
H&H Bagels.
Oh no.
Come on.
The steam and everything. I get it. Look at me. I get these
Denim
references
vest.
now.
Denim vest. Ruben, thoughts on releasing your own plushies That would be sick. Also, wanted to know if there would be a World Cup in the UFC. Which country do you think would take the cake? Mine would be Brazil with Dubronx, Pantoja, and Poatan at the forefront, and others like the Fighting Nerds. Happy holidays. Well, first of all, plushies, no thoughts. But
Big Shots?
If our friends from Big Shots want to hook us up, yeah.
Uncrowned plushies from Big Shots?
That would be great. I'd be down. Brazil, Russia would be a good one, right?
Feel like it's Russia.
Good.
Feel like it's probably Russia.
USA would have a strong shot, right? John Jones.
It's Russia.
Yeah, it's Russia. All right, there he is. Bennett. Hey, Ariel, question on fighter pay. Can you explain why Conor's opponents who don't get pay-per-view points receive a huge payday? Chandler, Dustin, etc. Cowboy. Obviously, for fighters who get pay-per-view points, I understand. But what triggers a higher payday for those that fight Conor and not on the pay-per-view plan? Most of them will have like a Conor clause in their contract. So if I fight Conor McGregor, I will get X amount. And that's basically it. And if you have a good manager, you'll put that in there. Paul Hughes kind of referred to something like that, like, oh, he got a little bit more for fighting AJ McKee. So there'll be carve-outs, as they say. And there's no bigger carve-out than him, so they have benefited from that. Daniel, what's good, boys? I manage a bar in the UK, so for the past 9 or so years, my Saturdays have consisted of a 12-hour shift, racing home around midnight in time for the second prelim, sweating out the full fight night, then 4 hours of sleep to fuel me for the nightmare Sunday shift. I would like to live vicariously through you guys so you can each give me a rundown of your ideal ways to spend Saturday on the day of a big pay-per-view. Also, while I've got you, I wanted to let you know that I am the guy who asked whether I should skip the Manchester card to go on holiday with my girlfriend. You guys steered me in the right direction. I went on the holiday. My girlfriend is now my fiance, and we're expecting our little girl in April. Yeah.
Shit.
Awesome.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
Right,
Imagine
Right, you're creating families.
Was she conceived on the trip?
It takes a village.
Would the math work out?
Yeah. Wait, when did he say April?
Yeah, April.
That is literally, Manchester was in
July.
July minus 3 months. That's April. The baby was conceived then.
Wow.
Is that why she's now the fiance?
So
Or is that all part of the plan?
Well, so the baby has to at least then be called Ariel, Frank.
I was thinking Tom.
Connor.
For Tom.
Or,
Aspinall.
okay. Or Eric.
Just MMA.
Just uncrowned. Name the baby uncrowned.
It's like,
You see?
here comes MMA.
Co-op live arena.
Anyway, that's a great one. Or Bilal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great name.
Great.
Passed down for generations.
Here's the thing about this. Okay, so my Saturdays are different than yours because you guys are getting ready to do the watch parties and whatnot. And so and it's all different, right? Because there's sometimes fight nights or sometimes pay-per-views. Thank God for ESPN Plus and being able to listen or watch on the phone. That usually helps. But when it comes to the pay-per-views, I'm usually locked in for the entire thing. And I kind of sit in my room there with the books behind me and watch it on my computer so I can have everything in front of me. It's not that great. It's not a great story. There's not really much to it. It sounds like you're living a very exciting life. Now, I will say, I don't know how you guys do it, Pizzi included. Like, if there was a sport that was predominantly playing out in the middle of the night, I don't know if I would be a fan, and I sure as hell don't know if I would be covering it. So God bless you guys, and that's why my respect for you is infinite. Amani, I remember in an episode of the MMA Hour, you said you would not get a tattoo due to your beliefs, but my question is, if in an alternate universe you was to have a tattoo, where would you get it and what would you get? I'd love to get one of those like big sleeves. You know,
Helwani with a sleeve would be sick.
Yeah.
At the lower
What's you
back.
got in the sleeve? What's in the sleeve though? What's
It's
the
a
theme?
mixture of things, you know. Maybe it's like the rock style, like the
tribal?
sort of
You're
like
going to get it onto the pec,
Samoan, like here, and then it goes over there.
A carton of oat milk here, and then what else?
some well done steak.
Ariel
on
didn't
this
like
side.
that.
A little bit of neck. A little bit of
There's a lot of shots. Even yesterday, we were doing the Ade show, and he's like, "Yeah, you wouldn't know anything about a gym," and I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
And you were like, wait, what? He's just like, nah, seriously,
No, but
you don't
like-
go to the fucking gym,
Yeah.
Ariel.
Like, he
Yeah,
wasn't like
he did.
taking the piss there. Like he was like, "Yeah, you like you know, like, geez, man."
Yeah, he immediately snapped back with no. That meant
He's like,
And
be
it came
serious.
from nowhere.
Be serious.
I'm gonna send him some.
Ariel's in
videos.
good shape too. Ariel's in the best shape.
I mean, no,
we saw
Ade
in
is
Vegas.
ripped, Jack, but let's also be honest. Ade is single and ready to mingle. So, like, you know, the priorities are a little bit different.
You're blaming this on the wife.
No, I'm saying
blaming it on the kid.
The schedule
The
is a little
lifestyle's
bit
different.
different.
The
Yeah,
lifestyle.
Not
the
only do I
lifestyle is
not care
different,
how
all
your
right?
day was.
There's a lot of mac and cheese just kind of like sitting around. You know?
Yeah. Feastables.
But can I tell you guys something?
Lunchlies?
Can I tell you that I'm not happy about? Can I tell you guys
please.
something? So the 2 days on Tuesday, like the two shows, like the two-a-days, if you will.
Yeah.
That is a good
Two-show
good word
Tuesdays.
for it. It is a two-a-day.
Yeah, it is a two-a-day. It's a long day. It's a
long
lot of
day.
talking. And yesterday was a particularly tiring day.
Uh-oh.
And I got home yesterday, and I had a little bit to eat, and I sat there. I'm not proud of this. I've never done this. I ate a full pint of ice cream.
Whoa.
Fucking
All right,
respect.
what
Okay, what kind of
I've
ice
done it
cream?
before.
Tell us more details.
I've done it before. Yeah, we need details.
And can I tell you the best? Can I tell you the best part about it? I was going like I was doing the skimming off the top
Yep.
because I thought that maybe might like be better, and I just kept going and I kept going and I kept going, and then I was like,
I've got questions.
and you know, like you get to like 1/4 left,
Might
and you're
as
like,
well.
if you could just put this back, it's not the same. And then I kept going.
I'm surprised this is the first time, if I'm being honest. I can't count how many times I've done
How many times did you cap it along the journey?
Didn't cap, but I would do this. I would put it aside. I would
Put it
like
aside.
move it. I just moved it.
Where was the like fuck it point that you were just like fuck it? I had a long day. I had a tough day. I'm just finishing this. I don't
It's
care.
like this much was left.
Yeah.
This
yeah.
much right here, like 1/4 left, and it was like a peanut butter vanilla with chocolate flakes.
Ooh, that's danger.
Yeah, it
That's
was
danger right
and I
there.
just kept
I'll do
going.
that to you.
And honestly, like I started to feel a little bit better as I was eating it.
I mean, you down a pint of ice cream, it's hard to feel bad.
But then you do feel bad in the
I was
aftermath.
gonna say, other than the sheer lack of sugar, saturated fat, dairy that you just didn't.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
I'm going to be honest. Pint is light work. Let's hit a quart next time.
No,
let's hit a tub.
Dude, I can't.
I can't.
What's
I
a
can't
quart?
do
Like,
it.
what are we talking here? Like, what size
Pint is like
the
imagine
quart?
like a Ben and Jerry's. That's like the standard.
Yeah, like
the
the ones
big,
that you,
like.
yeah.
Oh,
What
yeah,
brand
that's a
was it? What brand was it?
It was like it was one of those like
Briars?
Häagen-Dazs.
no, it was like a kind of a fancy schmancy one.
Man, you know what I learned from Seinfeld?
Yeah.
Speaking of Haagen-Dazs, I always thought Haagen-Dazs was like a European brand.
What is
Isn't
it?
it like a made up name?
It's like New Jersey.
Oh, really?
Wow. I always thought it was as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
The
I was
reason I
totally off base with that.
The reason I don't like
Learned it
the
from
Ben
a
and
sitcom.
Jerry's or the Haagen-Dazs is there's what's that thing?
fructose corn syrup.
Yeah. So I try to go for the ones at least like we try to get the ones that don't have that at the very
But
least.
do you like ice cream or you more like gelato, Italian ice? Like
So I like gelato when you go to the place and they have like the mountain there and you go to the little place in in the shop, but like to actually order it, I think I prefer just ice cream.
You guys cones or cup guys?
Cup.
I'm a cup too.
The cone seems just like needless.
there's
Y'all
only
doing
one
the
ice cream
toppings
for
too?
me. Bluebell ice cream from Texas.
Hey,
Burning,
shout out.
Texas.
Shout out. I grew
Bluebell's-
up on Bluebell
Bluebell's
ice cream
really
as
good.
well.
Never even heard of it.
Shows.
Ooh, solid.
Bluebell?
Get a big tub.
Got to get on that.
Get a big tub of it. Do they even sell it up here?
Yeah. They do.
They had a song too. Bluebell
we
tastes
don't wanna-
just
we don't wanna get
like
Beautiful.
PT
the good
ice
old
cream
days
in Ireland or
Yeah, we recently got it like last year. There was a whole thing, you know. Beautiful times. Dad went down on the horse to get out of the shop, and we obviously got our
Turned
milk
in
while I
my
was there. We
hand.
got the cow. Yeah, just took the cow to work to get our milk for the day, and then they went, "We have this new thing. It's called ice cream." We're like, "What? We only got the Sega Mega Drive last week. I mean, what is this ice cream you speak of?" And they're like, "It's like cream, but it's solid." And we went, "Oh shit, give
I
us
love
some of
the
that."
Sega Mega Drive shout out. That's great.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
anyway, I didn't feel great about it, but it was chicken soup for the soul.
Past is in the past, man.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed it while it happened.
Yeah, it was nice while it happened, and then I showed it to my son. I'm like, I just want to let you know I'm not proud of this, and
Was this
I
a
don't.
post dinner?
It was post dinner, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to stop sometimes, especially when you're coming straight from the pint.
Can I be honest with you guys? One thing that I'm battling in the new era, and I only used to have to deal with this on Mondays, and then it was Mondays and Wednesdays. I am so hungry after the show that I feel like I'm overeating Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
And I have a hard time because I don't eat a lot before the show, and then I feel like I just go. It's just like
Can
a
I
bottomless pit.
Make a recommendation.
Yeah.
When you get your lunch here, get 2 and have
I
one
know,
ready for
but
you
I
after the show.
my brain is now programmed to where I need to like treat myself at the end of it.
And what's crazy too is like what you're doing is exhausting and it makes you really hungry, but also at the same time, like you are just sitting.
I'm literally sitting. I'm not burning any calories.
Right.
Well, no,
It's tough. Yeah,
Always
it's
hop
a
on
tough
that
situation.
Avalon.
You
You just hop off. You end the show. Hop on that bike and then get yourself something.
Isn't that
to eat.
desk? Can't that be a stand-up desk?
You think so?
Gazelle.
They do it like McAfee.
Do
where I'm just like,
Yeah. We'll get you a walking treadmill too.
that'd be fantastic.
Just be
He's
burning
just
the
pacing
calories.
as he's interviewing people. That'd be hilarious.
Okay, let's hit a couple more here and call it a day. TJ. Actually, this is from Jack. Ariel, quick two-parter for you. Ireland is a country that is absolutely begging for a UFC event. We haven't had an event over here in over 10 years. I feel like you should play the music again. Despite having several rising stars, I work in the 3 arena and often host MMA/boxing events. What do you think is stopping them from coming here? Hoping to go to the UK card next year for my first UFC event. I don't really, I mean, they say that the arena's too small, 10,000. You know, they're killing it these days. So that seems to be the issue, right, PT?
Yeah, that seems to be what's been said. That was said to me like last year by John Gooden, actually. And I was like, what are you talking about, man? He was like, yeah, they need so many different areas for the broadcast now, and it's just not equipped with it. That seems to be what they're going with. I will say, like, it'd be a tough time to come back to Ireland right now with everything that's happened with Conor recently, you know, this civil case. Unfortunately, like, he's so big that the sport is associated with mostly just him. A lot of people don't know anything outside that. Of course, there's a thriving community. The MMA community here is a big one and a vibrant one. But for the casual guy just walking down the street, Conor McGregor is their only like reference to what MMA is. And I'd say if the UFC came here, it would be quite a controversial thing right now. So I'd imagine, like, I think what they say is correct about the 3 arena, like based on conversations I've had with the UFC people or people close to the UFC. I'm quite surprised by that because obviously I've been at these events that he's referring to, the boxing events and the MMA events. But it's obviously a good time now as well because we have so many people, and Ian Gary's in the spot that he is in. But hopefully something will be sorted out soon. But I don't imagine it happening in the next year, unfortunately.
Here's another one for Mr. Carroll. PT, how much do you top up your leap card by? Are you a 5 out of 10 euro type of guy, or are you one of those Egypts topping up 50 euro at a time, or are you too big time for the reliable Irish public transport? P.S. Ariel, I met you at the meet and greet in the Black Forge a few years ago before the Katie Taylor fight. You were a gent with plus 10,000 aura. Yeah.
Wow.
What is he talking about here with the leap card?
Leap card is like your travel card here.
All right.
So you can use it on the train and the buses, which are never on time. I'm a like, I don't even know what's on it. I just scan the thing and I say, all right. And
Infinite funds. Infinite funds.
Yeah. I've got a gold one. The state just gave it to me. We just get on. They go, all right, PT. And I go, what's the crack, man? I sit down and off we go.
Gavin, can you ask PT what's the best Chinese in Blanche?
Jesus Christ. Best Chinese in Blanche is the Magic Wok right beside the Hearthstone house. If you've had a skin full of points and I'm talking over 6 here. I'm actually talking above 8. You need to go into the Magic Wok. You need to wear a hooded top, and my friend Jack Dunphy showed me this trick. A hooded top with one and pockets in the front. And what you do is you get your chicken balls and you just put them in the front of your pocket, and you can still keep milling points of Arthur while you're digging in there and getting the occasional chicken ball to soak up all of the beautiful fluid.
TJ, hey Ariel, regarding yesterday's show and the Conor talks, as someone who's a diehard MMA fan, watches every single one of your shows, other MMA news channels, every pay-per-view, every fight night, every Apex card, every post pre-fight interview I can find, I can assure you that Conor is no longer the red panty knight for fighters after what he was guilty of, and that is why you had someone in the chat saying hypocrites. First of all, I've never used the term red panty knight. I've never said that. Now I understand the insinuation, but I think the hypocrite part is, I don't know, this gentleman or people thinking that we were advocating for this fight. I don't think any of us is advocating for the fight. We're just reacting to the news. In any event, fans are not going to forget what Conor did. And in my Darren Till voice, we don't care who or what he fights anymore, nor do we believe he is coming back to MMA. All right. I think
we actually voiced these things during the discussion yesterday. I think all of us said we don't particularly want to see this fight.
Yeah.
I also think it would be disingenuous to believe that Conor McGregor is not still the draw. Like, all the evidence is to the exact opposite, to the contrary, in the fact that if anybody else was going through this, the UFC would nearly immediately cut ties. Like, there is a value to Conor McGregor that still is maintained, at least in their eyes. And the assumption is that there are certain fans that do not feel this way. Now, it would also be disingenuous to say that I don't think that there's a certain number of people who do feel this way, because I think there's a lot of people who feel this way, but there are also a lot of people who would still support it and still watch his fight. So I don't think it's as cut and dried as the idea, like, I am speaking for everybody. Nobody will watch Conor's fights again. I don't think that's ultimately true. But I think there are a lot of people who will agree with that and will voice their opinion to say that. But I ultimately don't think from a business perspective that's accurate.
Wow.
Can I just say just on that? It seems like there's very different reactions either side of the Atlantic to this. You know, there is a big like Conor's as good as a pariah here in Ireland right now. It's not like that. I wouldn't say it's like that as much in the UK, but certainly there are stronger feelings I think over here than there are in the US, and I think that's a feeling that most people in Ireland have.
That's not surprising, right?
Yeah, of course.
I don't even. I mean, I don't watch like the nightly news, but like his story was being covered on the nightly news over there, and like it wasn't here, and that's just because of how big of a deal he is over there. I can assure you of this, whether people want to believe it or not. If in fact the UFC did announce that he was coming back in February, people would still buy the pay-per-view, and that's not a commentary. That's just the facts. We've seen it with the likes of Gervonta Davis and Floyd Mayweather, and other fighters who have been involved with the law and found guilty of things and found liable of things as well. So, I'm just going off of history, and you don't have to look that far to get those examples. This is from Sushi Dude. Ariel, why is it you eat and love sushi but won't eat rare/medium rare beef? Can you explain? I don't know. It just feels different.
It is very different.
Yeah. Mason, hey guys, I've been having an awfully rough week so far, but thanks for keeping my spirits high during the course of this week. No question, just wanted to say thank you guys.
Shout out Mason.
Much love, Mason. We're here
Great
for
name.
you, and better days are ahead. Better days are ahead. TJ, what is one gift for last-minute shoppers that would be guaranteed to be enjoyed by the receiver? PT did some shopping today, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not going to expose my amazing gifts on this show right now. I mean, who knows who could be listening? I'd like to know.
Make something.
I'm very like big on the gifts. Like I like to deliver. This has been a thing. It's my love language because I'm so horrible all the time. I feel like I have to be like, oh look, remember, I'm a nice
for
guy.
years. Never got a gift.
Yeah,
We're talking about family,
Yeah, but I'd like to know who it was for, and I'd be able to give him a banger recommendation. But he hasn't given us this information.
I'm more of an experienced guy.
Same here. I think the Usyk-Fury 2
like that.
pay-per-view would be a great gift to give somebody this year.
Give it to him on Christmas.
Yes.
Here's your code to get Fury Usyk 2, which happened back on December 21st.
Everyone stop chatting shit.
There's so many
to give it beforehand.
There's so many great questions, but we've just run out of time. I'm really sorry. Just two more. Ariel, do you think ESPN will keep UFC and PFL past 2025? UFC in some capacity, yes. Pay-per-views, I think for sure. PFL up in the air, but I would say they are going to be with ESPN now. They're going to divvy it up. You'll hear my thoughts on that on our preview show. That's December 23rd. Mitchell, hey, Ariel, just wondering if you've been stripped of the World Openweight Broadcasting Championship. I haven't seen it in the new studio. No, it's right over there, actually. And I showed it one time, but it has the MMAR logo, and the desk is different, and I don't know. It just didn't fit. But it's I'm looking right at it. It's right over there. An incredible amount of questions, tremendous questions. Let's go to the super chatters and get those before we say goodbye on this Wednesday. You see the sun setting behind me. Am I reading these?
Do you want me to read these out?
No, I'm happy to read them out. I just didn't know if we had them in some sort of document or something like that.
Let me read them.
All right, if you want.
Hey, Ariel, with you busy with Uncrowned, working at the Olympics, hosting / commentary for Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, etc., has Pollock reached out to you to book you for the post-wrestling yearly review and prediction show?
Joe Poe, the man, yes, he has. We haven't talked about a date, but it is a tradition. We hit a bit of a rough patch there, but we got over it. I was back last year, and the tradition continues in January.
Love it. Shout out, John. Sleeto, Frank is piloting those New Jersey drones, isn't he? Frank, do you want to confirm?
I cannot confirm or deny.
I actually saw someone ask earlier, they were like, yo, get New Jersey Rick to tell us about these drones.
Nah, I wouldn't know anything. It's New York, baby. Although
Arizona
they have been spotted out on Long Island.
Arizona Mick. They're starting to get spotted everywhere in the tri-state area, and it's starting to sketch me out a
I don't know
little
how to
bit.
explain this, but drones have been flown across the country for years now.
Yeah, here comes Frank with the
Mr.
classic.
Frank.
Everybody, the big conspiracy guys, like, calm it down. He's just like,
Anti-conspiracy
microwaves aren't bad, and
Take
he's
one
always
drone
got an answer.
from one edge of the planet to the other edge, and everyone sees it and freaks out.
All right, we've got a 2-pack here from Benjamin Turk. Hey guys, first timer. When will the award show be? Ariel, you plugged that earlier, but
January
we'll get another
6th.
plug. January 6th. We need to get a best bet awards also. Thanks, GC, for the free money. So he's thankful for this year.
Oh, you're welcome, brother.
UGC.
Thanks for entrusting in me.
He also
we
adds-
do the bets, the betting awards.
We will do the betting award this year. GC's got his own. Same guy, Benjamin adds, GC, thanks for shouting out Claws. Watched
Let's
it for the
go.
first time.
All timer. I rewatched it last week and I was like, man, this might be my number one favorite Christmas movie. It's that good.
Dave Sandine says, happy holidays to the crew. Love that holiday graphic on the display. Be sure to split this with the crew. Spread the wealth.
Oh, shout out to Dave.
How are we splitting
Our
this?
graphics team is unbelievable. Set design
chop it
team
up.
is even better.
Jason Carney gifted 10 the Ariel Helwani Show membership. Shout out to Jason. I believe he gifted 5 the other day. Shout out Jason. He's in the holiday spirit. We appreciate you, Jason.
Jason K, baby.
Del Red says, what is everyone's favorite KO they have witnessed as a fan of MMA? Best KO?
Aldo McGregor.
That's a pretty great one.
That is a great one. I'm a newbie. I'm going to go Holloway.
Paul Daly, Scott Smith.
No, come on.
Oh,
it's a great one, but that can't be the best ever.
Bro. Robbie Lawler, Melvin Manhoef.
On the same card, right?
No. Paul Daly, Scott Smith was Robbie Lawler, Matt Lindland.
Are we talking most impressive knockout or one that you had the craziest reaction?
When Paul Daly knocked out Scott Smith, he went he shut off.
Down. Yeah, he did shut him down.
What's the scariest one?
That Josh Emmett Bryce Mitchell one was pretty scary, dude.
That one was pretty scary. Bryce was down for a hot minute there.
Stupid question.
I saw Rakic knock out Jimmy Mano in Sweden. That
was a gnarly one. My favorite is still Silva on Griffin because I was there and it was just.
Can I tell you one? It's not MMA, but the Fabio Wardley Fraser Clark knockout from a couple of months ago when it looked like the dude's head got like,
got a dent in his.
Here and here. Like that one made me uncomfortable.
Is it always a TKO if like a broken bone happens?
Yes.
Oh damn! All right, so like the Weidman Silva broken leg thing is not a knockout.
It's just very gory.
That's your favorite knockout?
It was the first one I saw.
It doesn't have to be your favorite though.
That's bizarre.
Yeah, I don't know about
Forget about that one.
Cole B, may I get my super chat read from last Wednesday? Sorry, Cole, I don't know how to do that, but
shout out Cole.
Shout out Cole.
Is that Cole B or Colby?
No, Colby.
Colby, like the cheese.
Colby like the cheese?
No, Cole space B.
Like Andy Cole B.
Jake from the Windy City says, hey, Ariel, I don't know if you talked about it yet, but what are your thoughts on Inside the NBA and the whole crew going to ESPN?
Oh, my.
I consider it a win for all sides. Props to TNT and ESPN for keeping it.
Win in theory. Let's see how it plays out. I mean, are these dudes just going to pick up and go there and be like, yeah, sure, boss?
And also, it's not the same cadence and frequency. They have to get used to all this.
And are they going to let them cook the way they do on TNT?
Let them cook.
Are they going to let them breathe and not just do like 30-second segments like before we celebrate? In theory, brilliant. Love it. Love everything about it. But wait.
Are they going to add Mike Greenberg to it?
Wait to see. Wait to see. That's your boy.
Paul Cassidy, best part of the bike challenge was Pete's velvety moves. Pete, the dance moves were incredible.
Shout out.
Don't worry about it. I'm just trying to bust out some new flavors every week. You know what I mean? That's what I'm here for.
Our boy, regular Terrence Leverett. Since you are your own boss now, can we get Yahoo to make a green room type app? Miss chatting with the crew. It's less trolls over there.
Yeah.
Magical time.
I feel like the chat's a good community.
Yeah, we're working through the kinks.
We're working through the kinks.
Let's be positive.
Green
let's
room,
be helpful. Let's be friendly. Yeah, green room.
Was that Spotify green room?
Yeah, it was Locker Room, then it was Spotify Green Room, then it was
broke all the
Spotify
records.
Live.
Yeah. I remember. I was listening to that.
Award-winning, top of the charts, best show. All right, Mighty Zan, a member for 1 month. Shout out for he's been a Helwani for 1 month. If you watch Mr. Beast/Pump Drake, you're watching Connor. So basically, he's disagreeing with the person before. He's saying like people will still watch Conor McGregor.
Oh wow!
Yeah, of course.
Is Mr. Beast in that category?
I don't know. I don't think so.
All right, fine. Neither is Drake, really, but okay.
I've never watched a Mr. Beast video.
Oh, you're missing.
Missing out.
They're quite impressive.
Yep. That's it. No more super chats.
Love you all. Great stuff. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to all the super chatters. Thank you to all the chatters. Thank you to everyone on the Substack page. Again, we have the awards up. Please contribute. We'll tell you as my flag goes down. You're a grand old flag. You're
We saw that.
We'll get to all of that in January 6th. And I wish I could answer them all.
You do have a mute button.
How was that? Was it better that way?
Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't.
You
fast
never
enough.
even know. You never
There
know.
now.
Are you tapping on it, or
Yes.
is it breaking?
I'm
Come on, man.
Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you to Averon, Averon.com, AveronActive.com. I keep screwing that up. My voice is a signal, Frank, to play the music. Yeah, that would be great. Need some water. It's been a long day. It's been a long couple days.
Do you want me to show us out?
Get your latest Helwani merch over at ArielHelwani.com. Look at this thing. Look at it. Look at it. You've never seen such a nice... Yeah. Yeah, you know you're... I mean, look at it.
Are you all right?
Hey, everyone, thanks for tuning in. It's been a great week. We hope you all have a great holiday.
Well, the Who Me water bottle is sold out.
Is it sold out?
It's sold out.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Shout out. Anyway.
The list one hasn't sold any. Damn. No love for us.
No. In any event, a great day was had. Look at the Empire State. Fury Usyk on Saturday. Still much more to come on the Uncrowned network of programming. Paul Hughes was fantastic. 12 out of 10. The crack was 95, dare I say. Tyron Woodley, thank you very much to him. And, of course, thank you to Johnny Fisher. Appreciate him squeezing us in before his open workout. And good luck to Kaikar France as he attempts to get that title shot sometime in 2025. There's a lot to be excited about, a lot to be thankful for. Like I said, still plenty more to come. The next time you will see and hear from me, it will be on Monday, December 23rd. We'll be dropping our 2025 preview show and then a look back at some of my classic interviews on December the 30th. Award show on the 6th. So much to come between now and then. Don't go anywhere. For now, though, thanks to you. Thanks to them. Back on Thursday, same time, place. Peace.